It's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake. Sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Full show ahead on Double Barrel Wednesday. Sean Callahan, Parker Gabriel, and the mailbag. Get your questions into earlybreak937@gmail.com. As always, how are you this fine morning? Your microphone's off to the side.
No, I'm doing fine.
now you're
Thanks for asking.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You seem a little, I don't know, edgy today. You're edgy about the basketball situation.
I am. I also forgot to make the coffee last night, so I
you're
regret
fine
that.
on that. Don't worry about that.
I wasn't as prepared as I usually am when I come in here. I forgot that I didn't do several things, so just got the box score bay from the game last night for you. So Nebraska basketball played last night, Sip, and it looked good for a little bit. It wasn't the route that we saw against Rutgers and previous games against Michigan and Auburn. Illinois had a lot of reasons to be able to blow Nebraska out.
Oh, God, are we going to do this?
No, I'm not trying to say this is a moral victory at all because I'm just sick of this program right now.
All right, now, I think can we settle in and take a breath?
No.
Can I ask you just to do one thing in this conversation about Nebraska men's basketball?
What should I do for you?
Can I just ask you to do one thing?
What?
Try to have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, wife.
All right. Just so it's not, so people don't wake up and just hear us two grouchy guys talking about it.
What are we supposed to do here? To
have some
who could call you grouchy when you're talking about a program that just loses every game they play? Nebraska, if you went to sleep last night and missed the end of the game, Nebraska basketball was leading at halftime against number 25 Illinois. They led 34-31, and they actually got off to a 16-6 start in this game.
They did. Yes, it was
similar to the game at Indiana, right? Where they got up to a good start at Indiana early December, and then everything fell apart down at halftime at that game, up at halftime this game. And then, Nebraska hangs around the second half, but predictably they fall apart in the final 2 minutes and lose by 10, 81-71 to Illinois. Now, the spread was 13.5 points. So if you want to say they covered the spread for moral victory, then I guess you can say that. If you want some humor, Sip, they covered the spread in this ball game. But more of the same. Nebraska,
okay.
Here's
what happened down the stretch.
They weren't clutch down the stretch is the situation.
No, and if you were watching, you noticed that Kofi Coburn.
Yeah, he's good.
Kofi Coburn, was out. He fouled. They took him out of the game because he had 4 fouls. Illinois beat Nebraska down the stretch without Coburn. It was fairly impressive on Illinois' side. Now, here's the thing that you can do instead of us yelling all the time about
I like to yell,
Nebraska basketball. We can credit Illinois. They're the better, tougher team. They're tougher mentally. Give Illinois credit, and in doing that, it's you're basically criticizing Nebraska. Nebraska has been blown out now a few times. Auburn blew them out. Michigan blew them out. Rutgers blew them out. Then Rutgers loses last night at Penn State, 66-49. What Rutgers put on Nebraska? 95?
93.
Come on, 93. They scored 90-plus on Nebraska Rutgers. I'm at Big Red Kino last night with my grandson, Alex. I'm really enjoying my BLT. They stack it with a lot of bacon.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I have a red beer.
Wow, look at you go.
Yeah,
no margarita. Actually, with beer.
I have a red beer, and
nice.
I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's 6:15 or so, Jake. So I got some 6:30 maybe. It's actually probably getting towards 7, but I look over and the Rutgers Penn State game's on. It's 27-23, and I'm thinking, okay, that's a pretty good game. 27-23. Then I notice there's 17 minutes left in the game. I'm like,
that's a second, not first half.
I'm like, I said, Alex, this Rutgers team put 90-plus on Nebraska, and they have 23 points against Penn State with 17 minutes left. Okay? You got problems, Fred. You got problems.
Oh, you knew that already.
Yeah. You got problems. Rutgers, which obliterated you and looked like the Golden State Warriors in doing it. Went to Penn State the next game and had 27 points or 23 points with 17 minutes to go and lost 66-40.
And that's more of the Rutgers we know in terms of their scoring issues. They can win some games, but the 90 plus they put on Nebraska was the anomaly of their season.
Okay, now I'm going to call them
that was the outlier.
Right.
Because Nebraska doesn't play defense, and they played all right defense last night.
All
right.
Not down the stretch. They didn't play.
Right.
They didn't,
when it matters most, they don't play great defense, and that has been their season. Think about Sip. Go back all the way real quick to when the season still had hope and optimism.
I'm listening to you. Yes.
Go back to the NC State game, right? When they had to play defense in clutch situations to end that game.
Yeah.
That went to 4 overtimes. They couldn't stop Seabreeze, whatever his name was, the guard.
Seabreeze. That's his name.
He would just get to the rim anytime he wanted to or score an easy bucket. And when Nebraska had to have a big stop, that dude made a shot. And that set the tone for everything.
You're right.
That set the tone.
Right. They weren't playing defense then.
They couldn't stop him.
Seabreeze. I mean, Seabreeze might as well have been Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he might have been.
I mean,
that's what it looked like.
Right. Okay.
He's a fine player, but he's not Kevin Durant.
Now we gotta pause. Humor. There's I don't know how to inject humor into this. Let's just go with this. Illinois 16-6 run to end the game after the score was tied at 65. Okay, Jake, it was tied at 65. All right, late. Illinois went on a 16-6 run. Since the tie, I mean, after the tie, it went like this. And I'm reading right off of Chris Basnett's Twitter. 3 Illinois offensive rebounds and a bucket.
Yep.
Hello.
And 2 of those were by Coleman Hawkins. He made the layup. He had 2. No, he had 3 rebounds in a row.
This is without Kofi in the game, by the way. I believe it is.
Coleman.
Kofi.
Yes, this was not just 3. This was 3 by the same guy. Coleman Hawkins gets 3 and a bucket. Putback.
Nebraska gets a layup blocked.
Right. Bryce McGowan's.
Yep. Then Illinois, when I knew it was over. It was terrible defense.
Omar Payne.
Yeah. Omar Payne brought the pain.
I'm trying. Some humor in here.
I'm trying. Omar Payne, when they lobbed it, and that looked so easy, I thought it's over. Nebraska's, and it should be over.
And
how do you give up a lob in that situation?
No, you can't. And then Nebraska follows with a turnover by Alonzo Verge, which then turns into a three-pointer by DeMonte Williams. And here we go. You're down by 7, and it's with 2:30 to go in that ball game.
Right. Illinois, better team. More importantly, though, tougher team. And why is that more important? Because, Jake, if Nebraska is going to win games in the Big Ten, they're going to have to win them close. And they're not a good close game team at the end. They're not. They've clutched up on free throws a couple times. They're not particularly mentally tough. I hope they're listening. I hope the one thing you can hope is all this negativity just pisses them off. All right. And they just say, you know what? I've had it. I've had it with the media. I've had it with the fans on message boards and Twitter. We're going to prove them wrong.
Well,
we're going to go on
I'd welcome that. Well, please, may that be the case.
At some point, you get tired of people of saying you're soft, right?
Yes. Prove to us, please. But then let me come on the show the next morning and say, well, they proved that they're tough and they have a mission that they're on right now.
Tough, though. Tough. I don't know if they're tough. Their head coach is in the World Herald yesterday saying those 30-point losses were the result or partially the result of every rotation player besides Casey Tominaga having a viral infection during that period.
And you and I
he
don't like that.
He says no. Fred said one player stopped at practice to puke in a trash can. Another arrived late because of a debilitating headache. He says, I don't want to use, this is Fred talking. I don't want those 2 games to define us, who we've been, because we've really competed. We haven't shot the ball well. We haven't always played our best, but those 2 games specifically, we were not right. And that showed on the scoreboard. So he's playing the illness card. You do not hear coaches do that very often. Because it's not a good look.
Well, every program in the country has illness.
Right.
It's not just like a random outburst here of an unknown disease. It's COVID. It's sickness. Everyone has it.
Well, forget COVID. Just take COVID out. Teams get illnesses.
Teams have the flu go through that.
sports.
Yeah.
I got sick sometimes and played. That happens. All right. So Fred coming out and playing that card. I know it. I know Jake. I know it goes. Everybody loves. Can't criticize Fred. Oh, in the media, if you criticize Fred, come on, sit back. I mean, it gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
that conversation needs to end. Like if
we had a viral infection.
If people, just the fact that people don't want to criticize Fred.
I know he's a great guy.
The man is 5-40 in Big Ten play.
5-4. He's 1-27. No,
1-26 on the road.
What is he against Power 5? It's against Power 5 competition or Power Conference competition. 5-47. Okay, I mean, come on. Is he untouchable? Really?
No, he can't be untouchable.
Guy, I get it. He's tremendous. I love him. But at some point, you can't. We did this with Tim Miles, by the way, this great guy thing. So we kind of turn our heads to what's going on.
At least Tim Miles is winning some games.
Yeah,
some.
I mean, Tim Miles, though, we do this thing where Tim Miles, you get off Timmy's back, Sip. He got to one NCAA tournament in 7 years and didn't win a game.
They were more often in the bottom 4 of the conference, right? They had the 2 years they were in the top 4 of the conference, and that's it. Otherwise, it was bottom 4.
All right,
there's no middle.
Got to quit. The rant's got to stop.
You can't just stop ranting.
Stop. Yeah.
Because this program is what we watch and cover in the wintertime.
The rant has to stop. We have to figure out how to.
I can't
talk about it without ranting.
Well, that's really hard to do.
Okay.
I don't know if you can approach it with just humor and say, this is Nebraska basketball lost again. They suck 0-6 in conference.
Here's the thing. Here's the other alternative. Okay. We talked about this off air. It was hard to watch it. I wasn't revved up to watch it.
Who could possibly be revved up?
There are people revved up.
Really?
I watched it, and there were fans in the stands, and
they tried to find the 4 fans who are revved up.
No, there were people. There's people that are still into it. Okay, there's people that are still into it, and they want. I mean, come on. There's very loyal fans who desperately want this program to succeed, right?
Sure.
And you have to. And by the way, Jake, you have to feel for the kids. You do. I do. I felt okay. Late in the game, the game wasn't over. I'd say a minute and a half left, timeout. You see the Nebraska going to the bench, and I saw Derek Walker's face, and I felt horrible for him. You could see it on his face.
Derek Walker's one of the guys who's consistently played very well for this team. Once again, last night with the matchup against Coburn, a lot of the time, 14 points, 7-11 shooting. 7 boards.
Took it to Coburn.
Right. I mean, that's hard to do.
Coburn.
Yeah, Coburn.
Took it to him a lot of the time. Verge, I don't know. I mean, off and on. Verge is, 14 points, 9 assists, but 5 turnovers. A few bad shots down the stretch. Bryce McGowan's 6 for 15 from the field. Hit 6 or 7 free throws, 19 points. It's hard to argue with that. They didn't get much from anybody else. And that's, and then you know what? Fred shortened the bench up last night. Notice that?
Yep.
Just played Wilcher, Webster, and Eduardo Andre. So he shortened the bench. Illinois is good, but they're not great. They're not, they're playing well, but they're not great. They look like, I don't know, where would you put them as a seed in the NCAA tournament?
Well, if they are truly the 25th ranked team in the country, which they came in last night, that's probably in the realm of a 4 seed, 4 or 5.
No, yeah,
maybe a 5. Yeah, probably a 5. I'm gonna guess they're a 5 seed,
5 or 6,
5 or 6. Sure.
They're fine. They're good. And again, what was predictable about last night when it was close? I just felt like as long as Illinois was trading punches with Nebraska, with about 4 minutes to go, the best team would rise up. And that's what happened. And you're going to see that a lot. Now, Nebraska's going to steal one of these or 2 of these. They are. And now here's my question to you. Now, Brian's on. Let's just get to Brian.
Wait, hang on.
I'll ask the question.
No.
Will it be annoying to you almost if they win a game?
No.
if Nebraska
going to
wins.
be annoying.
It's a
20-game season for conference play.
it's a little annoying to me because a lot of people will use it as fool's
Oh,
gold.
it would be fool's gold. This team's not good.
But a lot of people don't see it like you do. They'll say, see, guys, they can
No,
do it.
you can't say that a 2-18 season is proof that
You'll get that.
look
though.
at the 2 wins. Look at those 2 wins.
Yes.
No,
You'll
guys,
get that.
Have you lost your minds?
You'll get that because I hear it. I hear it from people.
If I hear that from people saying, remember that the 2 games they won, I'd
Yeah.
say, how about the 18 games they lost?
I know. I get
What-
it.
what
But
it-
I know what you're dealing
Did those
with.
just
there.
not happen?
The
Like,
football,
have we lost our minds? Are we just so bought into a cult right now?
the basketball program is viewed much differently than the football program. You say that yourself. It is. I get it, and I understand why because of the expectations and the history and all that. Brian's on the line, I think.
Let's get a call from Brian on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. Brian, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, morning, guys.
Brian.
Thanks for taking the call, like the show.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you, Brian.
But my biggest problem, Jake and Sip, are, what are we doing well? I mean, we don't do anything well. We don't share the ball. We don't play defense. We don't pass very well. We don't share. There isn't anything I can see to hang our hat on that says we're doing anything well at all. We don't shoot well. We don't shoot free throws well. That's what I'm struggling with.
I got you. Yeah, they don't do anything really well.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. They played well enough. I'm going to try to keep this positive as I can for a team that's 6-11, 0-6 in the Big Ten, and plays at Purdue on Friday. By the way, Purdue
can't
on
wait
Friday.
for that. I cannot wait for that.
Purdue on Friday. Build your Friday around that game.
Yeah, I think so.
Keep it positive.
I'm not going down that road.
Keep it
I do
positive.
not agree to these terms.
Hey, Brian, they do a few things okay.
Oh, please,
They do.
please tell us what those are.
they
Sip.
do.
I'm ready for that.
Well,
I'm ready.
I've said it. I say it all the time now. I've said it. This is probably number 8. Fred made a good tweak in running the offense through Derek Walker, and that's worked fairly well. They were good
They
enough.
have not won a game since that's happened.
They-
They have played. Okay, yeah, they're fine. You
Right.
want to talk moral victories? They
Right.
have played better mostly. Now, they didn't play well against Rutgers with that strategy,
no, that
but
Rutgers game was
they have
horrendous.
mostly played better, which has not resulted yet in a win.
They played well enough last night to stay in the game with the 25th ranked team in the country. They only got out rebounded by 2. Did you notice Nebraska only took 12 shots from the 3-point line?
Yeah,
At 6 for 12. 6 for 12. But and then Underwood in the post game is saying how Illinois is a veteran team, and I guess he's insinuating that Nebraska is not, which is a terrible narrative and a false narrative that you get. You do get that from certain fans too. Sip, they're young. No, they're not young. It's not a young team. Alonzo Verge is a grown man, a senior. Derek Walker is a grown man, a junior who will not be back next year, most likely. Lat
Why
Mayan.
would he come back?
Lat Mayan is a grown man, a junior who likely won't be back next year. Kobe Webster is, I don't know, he got to be about 28 years old at this point. They're not, these guys aren't, it's not a young roster.
Well, I think he means veteran by the fact they have not played together. It's not veteran.
But that's Fred's choosing.
I understand.
play
I'm
that
not
card.
trying to say it's an excuse for Fred. I'm
Right.
just I'm trying to.
That's their mode of operation over there.
I get it.
They
You're
they
right.
change the roster around, and then they tell you they change the roster around. Then they tell you these guys haven't been together.
What do you think if you told Underwood, if you said, hey, well, hang on a second, Brad.
Yeah.
Here's actually what they are. They're
Right.
pretty old.
Yeah,
He might say, well, they haven't played together,
Right.
which is again
That's
not
true.
an excuse though.
all right. Let's see what
It's
Mark
just
has
not
to
an
say.
excuse.
Let's see what Mark has to say.
You're not putting together a basketball
We have
team.
some new voices today, and I like
Yeah,
that.
let's get a call.
Brian, thank you,
Brian,
Brian.
thanks for calling. Now we have Mark. Mark, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Good morning, guys. Hey, actually, you teed it up pretty good for me because, so they're veteran guys, 21, 22, 23, but they played together like a weekend. It's the same thing as the three of us going to the Y and trying to do 3-on-3 that we've never played together.
Right.
How do you have cohesiveness? How do you have structure if you're turning over your roster every single year? If you've got 6, 7, 8 guys every year, I'd rather see Fred, and this kind of goes for Frosty as well. You know, you keep bringing in trying to get the one-hit wonders. Yeah, we're winning the off season, yada yada yada. But I'd rather see him recruit 6 true freshmen. I don't care if they're 2 or 3 stars, and let them play together for 3 or 4 years. By the time those 3 or 4 years are over, they're a lot better. I don't, you know,
I totally
they've been
agree.
playing together. I don't understand how you can keep turning it over year after year and expect success.
Right.
Thanks
Well,
for the call, Mark.
thank you, Mark. Nebraska just lost to 2 teams, Rutgers and Illinois, where you see the same guys. Rutgers, you see those guys, Harper Jr. and Geo
Geo Baker.
Baker. And come on, keep
They had Omrui there too.
Omri and Paul Mulcahy. I mean,
Mulcahy,
I've watched Mulcahy grow up.
Yeah, you've seen those guys several
3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Many times.
right. Trent Frazier. I know Trent
Oh,
Frazier.
you've seen that guy a lot
Yeah,
at Illinois.
Trent Frazier, the Illinois guard. I know him. I mean, I feel like I know the guy.
You know, Kofi Coburn for sure.
Yeah, you know those guys. Jacob Grandison. The Nebraska, it's not necessarily like that. But I don't think it's gonna be like that. But no, you're right. That in that team, that sort of team will have an edge against Nebraska down the stretch. Nebraska's in a world
All
of hurt.
teams.
Right.
What team doesn't have an edge against Nebraska? Tell me.
Oh, I will tell you this. Penn State will have an edge against Nebraska, and I'll tell you why.
I expect them
I'll
to
tell
win
you
that
why.
game.
Penn State's tough. Penn State's rugged. They are a rugged ass team. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Harrison, but they are rugged. Penn State not great, but hey, Harrison, watch some video of Penn State. They come at you. They're tough. They will not back down. Okay, Nebraska has a little back down in it.
A little?
No, it has a little. Doesn't have a lot.
A little?
No, I'm not, Jake. I'm defending them on that. They don't have a lot of back down. No way. I'm not giving you that. They don't. They have a little. They have a little too much to win close games against good teams. But they keep competing. They just have some. Jay, come on. They're not that. They don't.
You know what?
down
I'm
completely.
just beaten down completely.
You are. You don't even want to watch it.
I don't. I'll say it again for the new listeners. I and Sip knows this very well. I have been a lifelong diehard Nebraska ball fan. People would know me as a bigger Nebraska ball fan than Nebraska football.
There's video
growing
of you
up.
celebrating on the court like a madman.
Yeah. Back in college when Nebraska beat Texas, number 2 Texas,
Yeah.
and also I was jumping with Doc Sadler back in college after they beat Indiana one time. I was jumping with Doc. Like that's my
you.
passion, and I cannot give it time right now. It is so painful and bad. If you lose me, you're losing a lot of people. I gotta assume.
Well, I know Sean Callahan, who we will have upcoming as a season ticket holder, and I was talking to Sean last night. And I said, "Wait, why aren't you going to the game?" He goes, "No, we're not going." Now,
I didn't even consider going last night.
I
no
watched
consideration.
I watched it because I get more out of it watching it. It was hard to gauge the crowd. The Big Ten Network does a good job, if it's not a great crowd, of making sure you don't know it's a great crowd. I couldn't tell. It didn't sound loud. So I don't know what in Nebraska.
Stats things lie. It says 14,000. I bet there's no chance there's 14,000.
No, there wasn't. There
no
was
chance.
It was a really quiet 14.
You don't get the actual numbers anymore.
No.
On attendance. You're going for tickets sold just like football does. You're not giving the actual attendance there.
Yeah, as far as Trev Alberts goes, Jake, you'll be mildly interested. We had Parker, Gabriel, and myself had an hour meeting with Trev yesterday. There's no doubt that $18.5 million buyout is a problem. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a problem in this conversation. Now, Trev, of course, will not go deep into that. But he's that. I mean, money's always an issue, and they're raising money for various things, the Go Big project and all that. And Jake, I mean, then you have that thing sitting there. You have a freaking $18.5 million buyout. That money has to come from somewhere.
I just got to think. I got to hope that Fred helps you out here.
He's not going to what?
And just says, you know what? Let's part ways. I'll take some of the buyout, but I'm not going to make you pay 18.5.
Well, we'll just have to see. I don't know how all that's going to work. Let's see what Mike says.
I just really hope that if he's truly a nice guy, which I think he is, he understands this is not working at all. Let's part mutually and make it good for both sides. So you're not paying $18.5 million. It needs to start. It's done. This is done.
No, it's not. This is where we
resolve this as over.
Okay, no, it's fine. You can. This is why I respectfully disagree with you, Jacob. You can't do that at 0-6. They got 14 games
Oh, but
left.
they've shown plenty otherwise to show they're going to turn around in the non-conference games. I mean, they lost to Western Illinois. They were pushed by Kennesaw State for a while.
They have
in a win.
14 games left. And you know what, Jake? When Indiana comes in here next week, I half expect Nebraska to win that game. Half.
You can't expect them to win.
Half.
You just can't.
Half.
I have no expectation for them to win. I am broken. I am completely broken with this program.
Well, I mean, you thought Illinois would blow them out, and they didn't.
Well, congrats. You still lost. Wow. See, you said we're not doing moral victories, and you just dropped a moral victory on me.
Let's see what Mike said.
Let's get a call from Mike. Mike, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Good morning, guys.
Mike, what do you think?
Steve, you're the man, and I'm probably not very smart, but you made some comments about, we need to hold Fred and in the past 10 miles to a little higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
And I know as a radio person, you have to do both, but then you were making a few excuses for Fred too.
Yeah.
And I personally think we got the softest fan base in the country.
It really?
I mean, you can look at it, and I like Frost, and I like the things, but we're always making excuses. Oh, we're close. Oh, this, if we did that. And no disrespect to the one caller, but, Fred gets these guys there longer. Well, he didn't. And that's just the bottom line. Sports, business, whatever. You're the owner, the manager. What you do is what counts. I don't want to hear, well, if he would have done this, he'd have a better team. Well, he didn't. So that's irrelevant. But Jake, I got to agree with you. I've been a fan way longer than you because I'm way older than you. And I have sat through as a season ticket holder some bad seasons, but I've always looked forward to going until this year.
Yep.
I look at my tickets now. I go, oh God, we got a game Tuesday.
Oh,
and
that's what it is.
Ooh, that hurts to hear that.
Never happened.
That hurts.
Ever.
That hurts, Mike. That hurts.
I know. And I've been a long time fan, Steve. And even bad years, I couldn't wait to go there. And when the season was over, I was disappointed. I don't know why. This year is totally different. I don't know if it's the hype after the Colorado game. I told my wife, I said, this is a different team. But it's even worse than ever. And I guess there's just no hope. At least with football, you have a little hope with some changes. I don't know if we have any. I mean, there always is. And you're right, Steve. They could get on a run and win some games. But, boy, it's just hard. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no, I got it, Mike. And I appreciate Mike's criticism of me. I am probably being a little too soft. I will say this. We have to learn from this stuff. We have to learn. Jake, we have to make sure we're listening to ourselves and learning. One thing we can learn is never, ever put so much stock into a damned exhibition game.
Oh
Again. Okay.
Colorado
now I've
game.
had guys that are compete at high level, coach at high level, really make fun of us for that. Say, God, you guys were talking about, what do you think Colorado? You think Colorado came in here guns blazing, wanting to win the game real bad? It didn't count. But we treated that Colorado game like they beat Duke.
Yeah,
we did.
Well, they had
learn next year when they play a damn exhibition and beat somebody decent. Don't come into the studio and say, "See, hey man, they look good against that Pac-12 team in an exhibition." Who cares? It doesn't matter. Exhibitions do not matter. All right, but we did it. We did it.
No,
and Mike's right.
Suckers.
I'm being a bit of a softy in this conversation.
And I'm like, and I'm done. I'm done with it.
Well, how can you be done at 0-6? They got 14
because there's no
games
sign
left.
that they're going to do anything at all. This is such an unlikable team. Everything they do is unlikable. There's nothing they do that I say, I am so proud of that. Like when Doc Sadler was the head coach, they didn't have great talent, but you know what? They fought hard. Those guys cared. They didn't win a lot. They had some big wins. I mean, he did so much with just such little talent, and I appreciated that.
I got you. And Mike,
Tim Miles,
what
didn't do the best job of coaching, but I could see those guys fighting hard most of the time.
Oh yeah.
There's passion there. I don't see it.
Right, Mike, and those teams. I'll even okay. Harrison won't remember, and you won't remember, but Mike remembers. See, I go back to the IBA years. I go back to Cipriano. Mike, our older listeners, Jerry, the older guys, they know. Mo, same way. Mo Iba had teams that were structured like in Mo's fashion, the way he thought they should be. And you had the same roster all the time. I mean, you had Hoppin and Brian Carr, and you build around that. You had Bernard Day, Anthony Bayless in that era, and you knew what you're getting. And they did play hard. And they were all, and they weren't, and it was fun to watch.
You could expect them to play hard. They might not win.
And Danny's teams.
You knew they'd fight and play hard.
Danny's teams, you knew Danny Nee's teams would fight and play hard. And I will tell you this, Harrison, Danny Nee was a Marine. Okay. Danny Nee was a Marine.
You
all
better
right.
play hard.
You would never, ever hear Danny. And maybe somebody's going to get me on this and say, no, Sip, he did say it one time. I can't imagine Danny Nee going in the newspaper and saying, we had a viral infection and it really affected us. He's a damn Marine. I mean, I just don't think he'd ever say something like that.
Yeah.
That just wasn't us. We had a guy with a headache. I mean,
no, please
come on.
Stop
come
the
on.
Excuses and just say we're not good.
Danny, I don't think Danny ever would have went there.
We can ask him sometime, maybe.
Hey,
Danny,
been on the airwaves here.
Would you ever
He's
say
been
that?
on the ticket
Would you
airway.
ever use a headache and a
No, Danny was a
for
tough
excuse?
dude. Danny
Said
was
no.
a tough dude.
Loss is a loss.
Yeah.
Purdue on at 5:30 on Friday on the road. That'd be fun. Sean Callahan's up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is Dan Friedman. In recent years, over 1/3 of all Nebraska traffic crashes have been caused by drivers aged 15 to 19. If you're a teen driver, don't become another statistic. Keep your eyes on the road. And if you're a parent, please remember that safe driving habits start with you. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices. For almost 60 years, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in Westdale and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Sartor Hamann.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Sartor Hamann.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay. Brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm tired of talking Nebraska basketball, so we're not going to talk about that after last night's loss again. We're moving on. Well,
about that.
Sure. We'll ask Sean Callahan, Oscar Carolina joins us right now. We'll get to football in a second, Sean. But Nebraska basketball is just really tough to watch. I mean, that's being kind, Sean. They lost last night 81-71. I mean, they played fine. They were competitive. But you don't know what you're going to get, a team that's going to lose or get blown out. I mean, are you still invested at all in this basketball program right now, Sean?
You know, sadly, I didn't get to the game. I watched it on TV.
You didn't get to the game.
I just couldn't get down there to the game last night. But it was kind of just predictable. Like, you're like, all right, they're going to hit it. They hit a few shots and get hot like they did at the beginning. But even when they jumped up 12, you're like, you know, this is far from over. And they just don't seem to be built to sustain. And everybody seems to always hit every shot against Nebraska. Like, I mean, some of the shots Illinois was hitting were incredible, you know, 3-pointers and things like that. And is that Nebraska's defense? You know, is it? So it's hard to say, but there were once again bright spots, but they're just not experienced right now in this league. When you're playing against, you know, Illinois was a 1 seed last year, and that's a team that's going to be a top 6 seed team in the NCAA tournament probably again this year.
Yeah, Nebraska. Okay, they don't. People don't want to hear this, but Nebraska did push them to the end. I mean, you got to say that for sure. But let's not talk about. I mean, I don't want to do this thing where we don't talk about it, because you got to talk about your problems, and one of our problems is basketball. But we can talk about football right now. Nebraska landed Casey Thompson, big-time quarterback out of Texas. Now, the one we're interested in, though, Sean, for your purposes, is Chubba Purdy's visiting on Friday. Now, what is the Purdy situation now with Casey Thompson in the fold? Purdy, I know, visited Oklahoma. Was that yesterday?
Right.
He visited Oklahoma. So where's that? How do you assess this situation with Chubba?
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, hopefully he gets here and Oklahoma doesn't, you know, hold him to a commitment before he leaves town. I believe Dart is in play for Oklahoma too. I think there's just some concern of how's Oklahoma. When you look at that situation with Dylan Gabriel, he does have injury issues, and you know, can you go into that next year with just him? And I think that's how they're looking at it. Oklahoma, guys, loses. I mean, that's going to be a different team that comes to Lincoln next year. 14 starters, I believe, are gone already off that team this past year. Obviously, their top 2 quarterbacks are gone. All of their top defenders are gone. So that is a different Oklahoma team. And Brett Venables will, you know, have his work cut out for him, at least when you talk about the standards of what people expect Oklahoma to be year in and year out.
Hey, Sean, today, speaking of schedules, the Big Ten is going to announce some schedule changes for each of the football teams. The football schedule is changing. What do you expect for Nebraska?
I've got a pretty good idea. I mean, it's going to be the same opponents. It's just going to be moved around, and it's going to be moved around quite a bit, from my understanding. So we'll see at 11, I guess, when it gets released officially. But you'll see the same 9 teams. It will just be kind of reworked. a little bit. But from my early read, I do think it's a pretty favorable draw the way things set up for Nebraska at the beginning of the year. And, for a coach like Scott Frost, that's what he needs. I mean, he needs a pretty favorable draw to start things out. And I think from what I've seen and heard, this new schedule, it's going to be pretty favorable, at least the way it lays out early over the first 8 weeks of the year.
Do you have any specifics, Sean?
They're going to be at home a lot early. After Ireland, I think there's a pretty good chance you're going to see where they won't leave Lincoln for almost, I think, 40, 41 days.
Okay.
Wow. So my Sean
So
Callahan.
that's going to be really, I mean, when you talk, and, those are all games that, from what I have seen, or at least have an idea, I mean, they're going to be games that Nebraska's got a pretty good chance, in all of them. So I do think it sets up for them early in the schedule. I think from what I know, it will be one of the more favorable schedules Nebraska's had since going into the Big Ten, when the Big Ten went to 9 conference games. It's, Bo's 9 and 10 win teams, they never had to play a 9-game league schedule. It's a big difference when you add that extra conference game in there. So this for a 9-game league schedule, when you have Indiana on there and Rutgers as 2 of your 3 cross divisionals, it's a pretty favorable draw just right there alone.
So my Sean
and
Callahan.
Wisconsin and Iowa, they're going to finally, I think, break that apart. So
what do you mean?
It won't be the same every year where it's you go to Wisconsin and Iowa, and the next year they come to Lincoln. That's going to be split where one year you're there and the other year you're at, so that really adds some, I think, relief in the future that Nebraska won't have to go to Madison and Iowa City in the same season.
Yesterday, Nebraska adds DeAndre Jackson, running back from Texas A&M. Sean, what do you know about him? What's the scoop on DeAndre Jackson?
Yeah, it's a deal where Sean Beckton obviously has a really good read on him and who he is. A&M is just loaded at the running back spot. I think on the surface, you're like, what the hell? This guy hasn't played much.
Right.
Well, the 2020 season it was a COVID year. And, it was hard for a true freshman anywhere to really get in and play because they weren't around for summer workouts a lot of places. He played 1 game. Then this year, A&M kept him at the 4-game mark so he could redshirt. So, he's really, he's a 4 to play 4 guy. And, I talked to one really tied in person at A&M just a little bit about him, and the staff there thought he was really good. He was just kind of the odd man out, and then they just brought in a 5-star for next year, so he just wasn't going to get an opportunity to get on the field based on what they have already in that program.
Sean, this is kind of a touchy question, but we can do this, Sean. We can work through it. We're talking about Nebraska playing Northwestern and Ireland. That's the next game on the college football schedule, as a matter of fact. I mean, is this, we're in this time in the world that's weird. Omicron's hitting us hard, all that. Is this game a for sure? Is it a for sure to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's out of our control. I mean, I can tell you this. Okay. Brendan Meehan, who is in charge of the game in Ireland, has been emailing me this week.
Okay.
And they have not released tickets to the general public yet. The only way you can get tickets is if you buy an Anthony travel package.
Okay.
And there's a push to release these tickets and have the schools' ticket offices start selling these tickets. It could be as early as January 31st. And that will be a big thing if they can release tickets for sale to the general public. Because I do think there are a lot of people that just wanted to book their own trip and go out there versus, buying the package. So that this whole game stems on those package sales and the ticket sales.
Okay.
And we haven't really gotten to the point where they've released them for the general public to buy yet.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Sean, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
It's a Husker Online, Sean Callahan.
The issue that they're talking about in the athletic department, the issues is, as far as this trip to Dublin goes to play Northwestern on week 0, is if the virus is still hitting hard, think about the situations that could occur. I mean, if a player gets it, like say Casey Thompson tests positive in Dublin, Well, he's there for 2 weeks. Then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now you're
double-
gonna miss the next 2 games, and I don't know. If you'd be back for the third game in that schedule, you'd have, and that could happen to any player. Could happen to me. I mean, I could get stuck 2 weeks
You
in
get
Dublin.
stuck in Dublin
And
at
fans.
the pubs.
I mean, I'm talking about, and when I invoke my name, I mean, it could happen to a fan. I don't.
Mhm.
I just, some fans are going to look at that and say, I don't got to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have that potential.
Yep.
But for the team, that's quite a conversation to have. And how much sightseeing are you going to do? Who are you letting into practice? Who you're not letting into practice?
It's supposed to be a fun trip, and now it's going to be so many things you're thinking about.
Right.
How do we avoid a virus breakout here?
Exactly.
Instead of enjoying this trip to Ireland.
The whole point is to go see Ireland.
Yeah, it is. That's the point. The point is to go on a trip, have a memory with your teammates and your friends, your family, and it could just turn into how much are you quarantining up there to make sure you can play the game.
The Vegas Bobcat weighs in. You don't have he says to me, you don't have a clue how this works. International travel is fine, he said. So okay, maybe the Vegas Bobcat travel.
We'll see what it's like in August.
Yeah, the Vegas Bobcat does travel internationally, so he says it'll be fine. Well, we'll see on that, Vegas. I've heard a little differently. He says I don't have a clue.
We all have different stories.
Very
I guess.
very pleasant time.
We're all friends in this market.
Very pleasant.
Everybody is just so pissed, and it's just constant chaos. You wake up. How's this day gonna suck today for sports?
Don't say that.
What's gonna punch me in the gut today? Tell me now so I can know early. Mailbag and song of the day next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in West Elk and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West Elk Street at Price Right Auto.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I should have known it. I should have seen. Leaving to you to treat me mean. Every promise was just a runaround. I should have known it. Yeah, you're gonna let me down. And it's over now, you see. It's the last time you're gonna hurt me.
Song of the day, I Should Have Known It by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. That's from 2010, one of his most recent songs before he passed away. 464-56851. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
In front of me, sold down the river, left for dead. Yeah, you put my ideas in another man's head, and it's over now, you see. It's the last time you're gonna hurt me.
Once again, your Song of the Day, I Should Have Known It by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 402-464-56851. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
You ever heard of Kevin Bacon, the actor?
Yes.
He plays. He also sings.
He has his own band.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, nice, Jake.
I played his song once. It was a Tom Petty T-shirt.
Okay.
You gave it a good score.
Yeah,
A couple
Petty.
years ago.
He's a Tom Petty fan, and
Yes.
I heard him on Sirius the other day talking about how Petty keeps it very simple. Like the chords are very simple. He doesn't play a bunch of chords. It's just so much about Petty's lyrics and attitude and unique delivery. And that song's that. It's very simple. Chords simple.
Well, he's also old when he wrote that. That was one of his last songs.
Yeah, but
he
that's the
ever
way
made.
he is anyway. That's just Tom Petty. I like that song. I always like that song when I hear it. And it's Tom Petty. So I'm not giving him a low score. I listened to, and this part of my life in the last 4 years, I listened to Petty more than anybody, and I'm close.
Smart man.
Yeah,
Really smart man.
I've verged way more towards Petty than Springsteen. So Petty, I probably have on Sirius 85% of the time. I'll whip over to the 70s, the 70s channel. I'll play the classic rock, and I'll go to Lithium sometimes. 34 is pretty good. It is.
I've never been on that channel.
It's
ever
pretty
in
good.
My life. Ever.
Yeah. If I want an
You ever hear some
injection.
Seether in there ever at all?
They don't do a lot of Seether. No, they don't do a lot of Seether. Okay, that's a 9.
Whoa, I think you got 3 9 pluses in a row.
Flat
from me.
9. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. You're good this week. You're really good. Yeah. Yeah. You came with it today. Tom, R.I.P. God, it's beautiful to listen to that Tom Petty station. It's kind of eerie sometimes because Tom's always talking.
He plays, it's the buried treasure. He does his own segment.
Yeah. I mean, you almost
Hear him
forget
talking.
sometimes. Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, Tom's up. He's dead.
Yeah. No.
He's gone.
Okay. What are you hearing?
Okay. We got to guess Harrison's score first. You want to guess Harrison's score? You got to go first.
Oh, I get to
Our
go first.
beloved EP.
Yeah, he liked that because he likes that riff. He liked that.
Well, how
guitar.
could you not like that riff?
He got that
Oh,
guitar
come
riff
on.
right out of the gate. Got him. He gave that a 6.0.
So he gave yesterday's song a 6.
What was it?
Which was Springsteen, The River.
Oh yeah. Very uplifting.
Yeah. Okay. I think Harrison's probably, not quite a 6, but like a 5.3.
Okay.
5.1.
Nice.
Just okay. Not my favorite from Tom.
His personality lends itself to being a Tom Petty fan, wouldn't you say?
Why?
Harrison's. I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Petty.
A little bit.
Yeah, kind of laid back.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
If you grew your hair out, he'd look like Tom Petty.
Yeah, he
maybe.
would. He looks
Yeah.
like he could be a Tom Petty offspring.
Yes.
Did Tom Petty ever come to Lincoln?
He
know
he
your
was
mom?
supposed to. No.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You want some ratings here before we get to the
before I
mailbag?
get in trouble with his family, with Harrison's
Okay,
family.
here we go.
His dad in particular.
We got an 8 from Bird in Columbus, a 9 from Brian. Says Nebraska themed song. Nice work, Jake. I should have known they're going to lose last night. 8.7 from Scott. Ugh, a 4 from Jennifer. Low for Jennifer. 4 for Jennifer. That's low for her.
Yeah, let's call her Jennifer Lowe.
Drew in Lincoln says 4.2. Tom Petty is trying too hard with that one.
Ah, interesting.
I don't think he was trying that hard at all.
Harrison does not agree with that. Trying too hard.
I think he wasn't trying. Really?
I don't think so.
8.9. Brown Magic says, Brown Magic says that song I've never heard before. I like that.
Yeah, you don't hear that one a lot.
You want to guess John Des Moines' score?
I think he liked it. He liked yesterday. He liked the river. Did he like the river?
I think he did.
Yeah.
No. He gave that a 3. He said a rare miss by Springsteen.
Okay, that's right. He liked the day before song.
Yeah.
I think, did he like that one? Yeah, that's up John's alley. I say he gave that a solid 5.
6.
Okay.
A good one. He says, okay. Kevin in Southwest Lincoln, a 1.2. Corey in Lincoln.
Our Corey.
Yeah.
Okay, our Corey. Yeah, interesting. I gotta think he likes that. I bet you Corey gave that a 7.
6.
6. Okay.
He says that that's Tom Petty's take on Led Zeppelin, he thinks.
Yeah, kind of. I can see that.
Fat Phil gives it a 5 and says that might be the best Tom Petty song I've ever heard. And still, it's just a 5. Not a Tom Petty fan, apparently.
Huh. No, there's a lot better.
No, there's a lot better than
Hey,
that one.
hey, go to the song Rebels and tell me what you think, Fat Phil. Was that Fat Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, go to the song Rebels and tell me what you think.
That's a great song.
Yeah, that's the best.
Brian says, I picture Jake with all of his Husker clothes walking around to the best of the song, beat of the song, pouring gasoline on his clothes. I should have known it. 9.
That's an interesting visual, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a little bit of that in you.
Okay. Didn't catch the song, but have a good day, says Ohio Husker.
Thank you, Ohio. Have a good day in Ohio.
You want to listen to it, Ohio? It was I Should Have Known It by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Jake is on a bit of a roll. I mean, as long as you stay out of your era, I'm pretty good. You know, if you stay out of the Gin Blossom, I mean, which I
You
kind
like
of
the
two
Gin
songs
Blossoms.
I like from the Gin Blossom, but that whole genre, if you can
The
stay
90s. My
Yeah.
era would be now, and I like
if
the
you
90s.
stay out of
you like the 90s songs.
Which of those bands do I strongly dislike? Come on, who's the?
You hate the Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh my God, that is that is
It's a good band, by the way.
incredible bad music.
There's somebody else you don't like too. That's the one. I
John
stand.
Popper.
Oh yeah, you don't like
John, is it
why-
John
why I
Popper?
can't think about that band. Yeah, he's the lead singer.
Yeah. Corey will text it in.
Blues Traveler.
Oh my
Blues Traveler.
God! What
I
happened?
can't believe you don't like.
What happened?
What is wrong with those groups? Those are
Oh,
great bands.
God, those are great bands. The Rolling Stones
I'm
and
not
the
going to
Who,
say that they're historic
all right,
bands.
and
I
and
did
Led
say they're
Zeppelin
historic
and the
bands.
Cars.
They're great bands.
My
though.
God, those are great bands. No,
the term
Heart
great
is
really
a great band.
The term great is really
Relative. Yeah.
it's wide here.
Yeah. God.
It's broad. It's a broad great. Yeah. I said it. Great bands. I stand by. Blues Traveler, Bare Naked Ladies, great bands.
Bill on the text line is
what's he
Bill on
saying?
the text line is making fun of me saying, "Do you know who Kevin Bacon is?"
Yeah, I guess, yeah. What am I, 4? Am I 4 years old? I played one of his songs in the past. I know he's an actor, of course, but I played his "I Put on My Tom Petty" T-shirt
Harrison,
for
did you know
Song
who
of the
Kevin
Day.
Bacon? Okay.
There's this, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, or is it 7? I forget what the
Okay, all
degrees
right,
are.
all right.
Everyone knows Kevin Bacon.
Do you know who Kevin Bacon
I'm not 3 years old.
I asked Alex the other day, my 16-year-old grandson. I said, "Do you know who Elvis is?" He just shook his head like, yeah. He's really dry. Alex is really dry.
Yeah, I know who Elvis is.
And he's like, yes, I know who Elvis is.
Old man. All right. We got a few minutes. Let's do
All
it.
right, yeah, let's do it.
First question from the mailbag is from Michael. He says this: outside of any Nebraska football national championship game, what has been your most memorable title game you have watched?
Ooh. Can you do that first?
Yeah, well, I'll go back. I forget what year it was because it was in the last 7 years, right? When Clemson Bama played and Clemson won with the Hunter Renfrow pass.
Okay.
That was a great game. That was like 42-38, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was high scoring. Deshaun Watson was amazing in that game for Clemson, and that was a surprise. They weren't supposed to win that game. They were the underdog. That was fun. I still think there's games back in the 2000s that were okay. The Miami Ohio State game was really good in 2002. The upset with Craig Krenzel.
Yeah. I think Cavaliers, Warriors, when the Cavaliers won back. Can I do that? Can I invoke the pro game into this?
Sure.
When LeBron beat the Warriors in game 7, it was, the Warriors that the Cavaliers came back and won the series. I mean, I was really into that. That's what as far as championship games, that one's the one that stands out in my mind. You got to go to Super Bowls.
Well, if we're going to that, I mean, the best Super Bowl of my whole lifetime, and I'm sure that many would agree, was when the Patriots blew the undefeated season and lost to the Giants. Plaxico Burress, David Tyree, Eli Manning. That is still the 07-08 Super Bowl. That is the best Super Bowl ever.
Let's face it. Let's
Because
just
of how it
just
ended.
be real here. That's a really hard question because there's so many in your brain that I have a hard time kind of separating them because I'm 55 and there's been a lot of great ones. I mean, there's been a lot of great games.
We have a lot of people saying the best game was Texas USC in the 05 Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a great. No, that was a great game.
Incredible.
Awesome game.
Yeah, it's hard for me to separate one from probably 20. That's where I'm at on that question. I don't know that there's one. There's probably 20 that stand out, but it's hard to. I'd have to sit down for an hour and write them down. Right?
Yeah.
Is there just one? I don't know. Well, I just remember when Cleveland won that. I don't know. I felt I was drained. I was physically drained by the whole series. I was physically drained. I would find myself doing something my brother did, which was always odd to me. When we and my brother, we were on a team at the Y when we were older, adult league. And my brother, when he would get heated, would always take off his shirt. I'm like, why do you take off your shirt all the time? And I found myself doing that in my living room during the Cavaliers Warriors. I'd get wound up.
Off your
I'd
shirt?
whip my shirt off. And Trixie's like, what are you doing?
What the heck's wrong with you?
Yeah, why are you
man?
watching this without put your shirt on?
I
all your visceral.
I don't think I've gone that far.
Your visceral reactions come out. You start whipping off your shirt. I stand. I know
The standing's not that uncommon for that.
yeah,
Okay,
well,
fine. I stand all the time.
Yeah, when I'm into a game, I'm standing.
I can't say I'm taking them off my shirt because of the stress.
Bad
of the
foul call, something like that. Yeah,
off the shirt. That's BS, man. We got 20 seconds. This is a good one from Paul. We'll end on this. Paul says, "Are all orange sodas the same?"
God, that's a good question. No, Orange Crush is Orange Crush rises.
No, Sunkist rises. Sunkist is the best.
Orange Crush
Sunkist
rises.
Slice Orange Crush.
Shasta was pretty good. I mean, if you were hot when I was a little kid, if I was, coming off the playground and my mom was waiting there with the Shasta, hello.
Thanks,
yeah.
MVP, Dave.
Yeah, Shasta, orange. No, I'm going Orange Crush. That's a great question, though.
But you say they're not all the same.
I'm saying they're not all the same.
They're
no.
very similar, but Sunkist is
God,
the
that's
best.
a great question.
I know, right?
Thank you for that.
That's from Paul.
God, that's a good one. I'm serious. We'll think about that one more,
Yeah,
okay?
we will. Top of the hour next on Early Break in the Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In basketball over the weekend, Lincoln Pius X gave Lincoln Northeast their first loss of the season, winning 62-57. Northeast now sits at 10-1, and Pius sits at 7-4. The Pius girls would win over Lincoln Northeast as well, winning 50-42. Columbus won over Lincoln High 54-48, but the Lincoln High girls would win over Columbus 63-25. DC West beat Lincoln Lutheran 47-42, and the girls for Lincoln Lutheran won in their matchup over DC West 58-17. Gretna got a win against Lincoln North Star 57-53, and the Gretna girls would also win 59-35. Hastings SC won over Lincoln Christian 56-49. Barrier would finish with 20 points for Christian in the loss. Lincoln East got a big win over Fremont 62-47. Templemeyer would lead the team with 18 points in a win for Lincoln East. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Bagels and Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any bagel. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Wednesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. Thanks to Sean Callahan. As always, we'll have Parker Gabriel, your colleague from the Lincoln Journal-Star, next segment. Do you have a moment of
I've had
euphoria over there?
Of clarity. There's, I'm trying to think of things that, I haven't transcribed my interview. Parker and I sat down with Trev Alberts yesterday for an hour. I haven't transcribed it all, but there's some things that are floating through my mind that Trev said that are really interesting.
Oh, please.
One is, I asked him the question that we addressed on the show. Okay, you watched Alabama, Georgia. He watched it.
Okay.
I said, when you watch that, what do you think? I mean, you watch it in the context of Nebraska, obviously. And the question we get a lot is, man, is Nebraska really far away from that? It's self-explanatory. Yes, it is. I said, how do you deal with that in your mind? He said here's the way I deal with it. Nebraska, we're starting at ground level. We got to learn how to tie our shoe. Okay, right now. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about here's one thing he said that's interesting. He said, I'm worried about being the most physical team in the Midwest. Start with that.
Like that sounds.
Start with that. Let's be the most physical. I'm going to write this for tomorrow. Let's be the most physical team in the Midwest. Let's do everything right. Let's control what we can control. Let's be physical. Let's play the game the right way. Let's show up and always be engaged. And he asks his coaches, everything you do, I want you to be thinking about this. Is this elite? And is it going to make us elite? And he said, people are going to like what he says. It's okay. He says, listen, winning matters, and 3-9 is non-negotiable because the business model at Nebraska can't sustain itself at 3-9. You can't, too many empty seats, too much money lost. Can't sustain itself. All right. He said that, let's do this. Let's start with being the most physical team in the Midwest. But as far as that Alabama-Georgia discussion goes, yeah, they're far away from that. He acknowledges that. But Nebraska's starting kind of at the ground floor right now.
It sounds to me, if I just take those words,
what?
That he wants to be like Nebraska used to be in the 90s, the most physical team in the Midwest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back to what you used to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we're fortunate.
Are they doing that with this current staff?
Well, I hope so. Well, they better, because their boss is making proclamations publicly. Be the most physical team in the Midwest.
If you're going to be the most physical team, I expect you to have a pretty dang good rushing attack.
Thank you.
And I don't know if I expect that for the upcoming year.
Well, but listen, this is where it's got to go. I think we're okay. This is now we've inadvertently moved into an interesting conversation. This is where I say we're fortunate to have an AD who played at Nebraska during the glory years, during the 90s. Trev was an incredible player. I know you guys are too young to remember that, but you're talking about a top 5 overall pick here. All right, Trev knows how to play. He knew how to play physical football.
So did Scott Frost, to be fair.
Absolutely.
As your current head coach.
That's true.
They both played in the same decade.
Right. Well, that's true. And I think we're fortunate to have Scott in that way. And I got to tell you, I thought, the way Scott played would translate into the way he coaches. And I can't say that the visual I've seen in these 4 years has been the visual I expected. I can't say that. And then, I think that's a reasonable take given his record, right? I thought we would see a more physical product, right? Something that's a little more intimidating.
With Scott Frost's offense?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like,
wasn't that way at UCF?
Yeah.
They weren't a physical. You didn't have to be physical.
And listen, I know that
you didn't have to be physical at UCF.
I know they ran the ball well at Oregon, but I don't think you wouldn't label that as a physical team.
Yeah,
right?
they were physical, man.
They
were absolutely physical.
But if you try to describe Oregon's offense, you would not say physical.
That's not true.
I
gotta do it?
I know the Royce Freeman bit. I don't need to hear
he
the
ran
Royce
for
Freeman
1,800 yards, Jake.
Right.
Jake, 1,800 yards in 1 year.
That's impressive, and that's awesome.
Physical running.
I don't think people would still describe Oregon as physical, though. They think of Wisconsin as physical and Iowa as physical.
Disagree.
And SEC teams as physical.
Anyway, the boss. I like what I hear from the boss yesterday.
Well, how about this from Doc in response to the boss?
Okay.
Not Bruce Springsteen, but Trev Alberts. Doc says they want to be the most physical team in the Midwest, yet Nebraska hired a first-time offensive line coach and has yet to hire a running backs coach.
Hold on, Doc. I get you. Due respect. Come on. The guy's Donovan Raiola. He's a Raiola. You think they're going to cover up guys and not you think they're really going to consider a stalemate a win now? That's a Raiola. No. They're going to try to move the line of scrimmage now. All right. To Frost credit, I know he's the human pinata, Scott Frost. But to Frost credit, he verbalized it at least twice during the fall when we would ask him, what are you looking for from your offensive line? What would he always say? I'm looking for those guys to strike. I want to see guys whipping people up front, moving the line of scrimmage. Frost verbalized it. The reason he moved on from Greg Austin is because he wasn't seeing what he wanted. The reason he hired Donovan Raiola is because he thinks that. Why are you laughing?
I'll read it. Just keep going. I'll read it.
The reason he hired. I hate it when you do this.
Just keep
when
going.
You're mocking me.
I'm not mocking you. I'm not me. Someone else is, which I will read.
Okay, but the reason he hired Donovan Raiola is because Donovan Raiola can bring what he wants, which is that.
Okay, we'll stop right there.
Okay.
Shane and Lincoln, I got a
Shano.
If you're watching on the text or the video stream, I will try to act this out for you also. He's a Raiola in quotations. He was an assistant with the Chicago Bears who were horrible running the football.
Yeah, well, they weren't horrible running the football, first of all. The Bears were not horrible running the football.
They had a couple. They had Montgomery and Herbert who were solid.
They were not horrible. And come on.
They were horrible at protecting the quarterback.
Right. They didn't have a good they struggled up front. But I don't know. He was the assistant offensive line coach. I mean, it's just like the old he doesn't put the roster together. He doesn't draft the players, right?
This is about how I would respond, but I'm glad that Tiny Pig put it in. Yes, Tiny Pig, the text, you put it in better,
Tiny Pig,
proper terms. He says, "What does being a Raiola have to do with still being a first year coach instead of a seasoned veteran?"
Well, because it's about his attitude and his approach. I think I'm less worried about his relatively light resume because I know his mentality. And I know that it's a no nonsense mentality, and it's one that he wants to bring back the attitude from the past. And I'm not just talking about Dominic Raiola, who was an All-American at Nebraska in 2000. Can you imagine, Jake? In 2000, Nebraska had 2 All-American starting linemen, Russ Hochstein, Dominic Raiola.
Would have been nice.
2 All-Americans on one line. 2. And, they had Dominic Raiola and Tony Finotti. 2 All-Americans on one line. Okay, but he's going back further than that. He's going to involve the ex-Huskers. No. Don, I'm not worried about the offensive line coach's light resume because I know what he's going to bring in terms of mentality. That's why they hired him. Now you're mocking me again.
Well, I get what the texters are saying here. You know, the fact that they don't. We can't just say because the guy's a Raiola, it's going to be all magically fixed.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying.
And they're going to be physical. And
he better recruit. And you better start recruiting All-Americans. No, I'm not giving anybody a pass, but I like the hire because of that mentality. I don't think you can mock it. I mean, the guy was a 3-year starter at Wisconsin for a reason. He played the game the right way. He was a starter 3 years for Barry Alvarez. I mean, he played the game the right way.
There's a lot of coaches out there to counter that. There's a lot of coaches out there that have played at a high level.
This doesn't have to be a Donovan Raiola discussion. I mean,
no, this is going back to the topic. You said that Trev Alberts wants Nebraska to be the most physical team in the Midwest.
Yeah. Now that's largely.
And so there's people saying, well, if you want to be the most physical team, you better, number one, commit to running the football.
Right.
And if so, maybe this
you
works
think
out.
Donovan Raiola doesn't want to commit to running the football.
It's not his choice.
Well, I know, but you've made it a Donovan Raiola conversation.
The
for some
texters
reason.
did. I'm just following up on what they have said.
Well, you think Donovan Raiola doesn't want this to be a run-oriented program?
I'm sure that he
Are
does.
You crazy?
I'm sure that he does.
Well, then what are you saying?
But he doesn't call the plays.
What's your point?
He doesn't call the plays.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Nebraska has to.
But you made it Donovan Raiola.
If you want to be the most physical team in the Midwest, as Trev Alberts would like,
yes,
and you want to prove that on the field, then you have to let the offense operate the proper way to make that happen.
But that's not just. I mean, you've just made this a run game discussion. Being the most physical team goes far beyond that.
But it's a lot.
I mean, it's a defense discussion too.
No, it's defense.
Yeah,
sure.
Obviously.
But offensively, you can set the tone by, hey, stop the run. We're going to run the ball. Stop us.
Right. Well, I think that's what Trev's probably looking for. He doesn't say it in those terms, but when Trev says let's start by being the most physical team in the Midwest. I love that. I love the sound of that.
Nebraska fans have begged for that for a long time.
Oh, give me a break.
No,
give me a break.
Well, the Callahan,
Mister.
Don't call me the pass the ball guy. No, I haven't run the ball.
Nebraska fans have begged for this for a long time.
Ever since he did.
When they gave Bill Callahan a standing ovation when they threw the ball down the field.
When that was proven to be wrong in the last 14 years, they begged for it.
No, they didn't beg.
They learned they were wrong for a 4-year stretch.
They begged for something different, and then they found out that we better go back to what we were. And maybe
too much plastic surgery.
Yeah, too much plastic surgery. So, no, don't try to do that to me.
I have been run the ball guy for a while. No, was I always run the ball guy? No, I fell into the trap. But I think I figured it out before some people did, saying this is not going to work.
Okay, all right.
This is not a passing school. Now the problem is that, we got Mickey Joseph. We can get all these great receivers and we can pass the ball. You have a conflict of interest now because you want to be the most physical team. But now you say we got a great receivers coach that brought up Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and all these guys.
Yeah.
And now we're going to pass the ball. What are you going to be? What is this?
And hold on.
What is this?
Hold on. Let's have an adult conversation.
I'm trying.
It's interesting right now. And I wrote about this on Monday. If you look at the offense's strongest position groups right now, what are they? The receivers and the tight ends. That's the strongest. Think about it. I mean, they brought in Trey Palmer. They brought in a kid from New Mexico State. Say his name, Isaiah something Castanedis.
Yep.
Garcia. Yeah. Arcega. Yeah.
Arcega. Yeah.
Hyphen.
Yeah.
They brought in him. They have holdovers in Xavier Betts, Nomar Manning, they flash talent for sure. Oliver Martin, flash talent. Alante Brown, flash talent. They like Alante Brown. I mean, Alante Brown's a tough kid. Then you at tight end, you have Vokalek, who might, I don't know, is your best player on offense? Who's your best player on offense?
If it's Vokalek, that's not a good thing.
Oh, I don't know. Vokalek's pretty good.
Well, I like him, but it can't be your best player.
Vokalek and Fedoni at tight end. Thomas Fedoni, top-rated tight end in his recruiting class. You get into that, don't you? The receivers and tight ends look like the strongest group, right? You would like to say when in the context of the AD saying we want to be the most physical team in the Midwest, you'd like to say it's the offensive line and the running back groups that are the strongest. What is so funny?
Read this text.
What is so funny?
This is going back to he's a Raiola. I got it. This is great though.
Okay. How do people know that I used air quotes?
This is the one you'll appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't. Hey, have you noticed, Harrison? I can't make a point without Jake laughing at me.
No, that's not
the
true.
The show's not gone particularly well.
Yeah, it has. It's
no
great shows.
Because you're laughing at everything I'm saying.
No, not everything. Just a couple.
All right.
This is a text. This is Dexter. I wish he had a name.
I'm glad I make you laugh.
He said, Sipple was the little kid in the front yard yelling, "Don't touch me or pick on me because my big brother is a Sipple. He can kick your ass." He's a Raiola, baby. He's a Sipple. My brother's a Sipple. Kick your butt.
I do think, I know I'm just digging myself a deeper hole. I should quit while I'm behind, but he's a Raiola.
He's a Sipple.
That name means a lot to me. Dominic, when I think of the most intimidating lineman, who do I think of? When I think of most, you can't play this game because you weren't involved.
Was he young?
Yeah, you were young.
I remember Finoti. He was awesome.
The most intimidating lineman I've covered: Wiegert, Finoti, Incognito.
Oh yeah, Richie.
Yeah, Richie Incognito and Dominic. Okay,
who's the fifth?
I don't know who I'd put as the fifth, but I'd say Wiegert number 1, Dominic Raiola number 2, as far as most ferocious and intimidating. Richie Incognito 3, Finoti 4. I don't know who I'd put 5.
Will Shields in there at all?
Yeah, he was that. I didn't cover him though. He was right before my time. But those guys, that's what you got to get back to, by the way. That's why I say he's a Raiola.
Guess what? Those were run heavy teams.
I know they were.
Those were
I know.
Mostly all run teams.
I'd like to say that Nebraska's strongest position groups on offense right now are the offensive line and the running back group. I don't know. That running back they added yesterday,
he's got 3 carries.
Right. He's unproven. Bigger guy, 5'11", 215. I like the size. He was highly recruited. I mean, Alabama, Auburn recruited him, those types of teams. Texas A&M, he went to Texas A&M. But yeah, he's unproven. I thought they might try to go get a proven running back out of the portal. A proven guy. I mean,
this guy has 3 carries.
Right.
DeAndre Jackson. 3 carries.
The Michigan State running back last year came from Wake Forest, where he had
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, he had success at Wake Forest.
I thought they would go get a vet, and I'm not being critical of this new running back at all. I'm not. I mean, I just thought they'd go get a proven guy, a guy who's got, 500 carries. Right?
Yeah.
A veteran.
But this goes back to what you just said. You to bring it all back to this. Trev Alberts told you he wants Nebraska to be the most physical football team in the Midwest.
Start there.
You
start there.
Just listed your 4 most physical linemen of all time at Nebraska
that I've seen,
which was for a very, very run-heavy offense.
I know. That's what they got to get back to.
Mark Whipple has been a passing coordinator.
No,
right?
but you saw what Whipple said.
I saw it. He can say anything he wants to. I saw last year's Pittsburgh team.
Well, they ran the ball a little bit.
And they passed the ball a lot.
Yeah, they did.
They ran the ball some.
But
they passed
Whipple
the ball a lot.
said on the record, look, I'm from the AFC North, and I got the Pittsburgh Steelers in my blood. And Russ Grimm said, you got to be able to run the ball when teams know it's coming. They were in the AFC North. They played those. Who's in the AFC North? Whip them off.
Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers.
What do you think the weather's like in those places?
It's crappy.
At this time of year. You got to be able to run the ball. And Whipple said that. Yeah, Whipple whipped the ball around at Pitt. That doesn't mean he can't come in here and adjust. Right? Yeah, his background suggests pretty pass heavy. That doesn't mean he can't adjust. Especially when the boss is telling the local media, I want to be the most physical team in the Midwest. Right?
I just wonder, when where Mark Whipple excels at. Does he excel calling pass plays, or does he excel calling run plays?
What kind of question's that?
The Pittsburgh offense was not great before this last year, and they had a pass-heavy attack.
Whipple knows how to call run plays. It's not that you could know how to call run plays.
It's call him at the right time and the right place. It's not as easy as run left, run right, or counter, trap, whatever. It
was that easy when Nebraska was rolling.
Sure was, yeah. When they had all these linemen you were talking about.
Yeah.
They don't have that right now.
Oh, they don't.
It's hard to be the most physical team in the Midwest.
I'm
when you don't have those.
I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, Jake.
Well,
I mean, I don't.
You kind of have to because you got jobs in the line right
Listen,
now.
now, hold on. When Trev says we want to be the most physical team in the Midwest, I don't think he's saying this year. Yeah, it would be great, but I don't think he's expecting that this year. When they get it rolling, they want to be the most physical team in the Midwest. If you're the most physical team in the Midwest, maybe you can go down to the Southeast and punch with those guys. LSU, okay, Harrison weighs in. LSU with Burrow was a physical team, despite airing the ball out. They were. You see that running back they had? What was his name?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. I'd like to see him walk in here and you say, I don't think you were very physical. Did you see him run the ball?
A lot of big talent on that team.
Yeah, but Harrison weighs in and he's right. That was a physical team that aired the ball out. You can be physical.
I hope they do right now.
The Miami Dolphins, are they physical?
Not particularly. They have actually they don't. They run the ball like crap. And they actually don't. They are the opposite. They have the worst O-line ever, and their defense was physical. One unit physical, one unit soft as a pillow.
This isn't just an offensive discussion. We made it into that, unfortunately. But this is a black shirts discussion too.
It is. Parker Gabriel is up next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly sunny skies and mild conditions expected once again. We'll top out near 55. Winds out of the northwest at around 10 to 20. Heading into tonight, mainly clear. A low dropping down to around 31. One more beautiful day tomorrow with a high of 55, but we're watching a system for Friday that could bring snow to the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. For sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Bagels and Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any bagel. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in West Elk and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West Elk Street at Price Right Auto.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Ed Orgeron joins us. You have told me before you have a genuine fondness for the state of Nebraska. Why is that?
I always liked Nebraska. Growing up, watching Nebraska, Monty Kiffin, Tom Osborne, the great teams there. I just always liked Nebraska. I just think it's a great school, great state, great football, tough, hard-nosed football players.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for part 2 on this Double Barrel Wednesday to be joined by your colleague, the Journal Star's Parker Gabriel. But before that, gotta give him his proper introduction on this fine Double Barrel Wednesday. Yeah, it's right there. Double Barrel Wednesday. It's a Double Barrel Wednesday.
Double Barrel Wednesday had some pop, didn't it? Very good job by Parker on Double Barrel Wednesday.
You guys know what day it is? It's Double Barrel Wednesday.
And we're now joined by your colleague, the Journal Star's Parker Gabriel. Good morning, Parker. Let me ask you first regarding Monday night, the championship game, Alabama and Georgia. I mean, are you still are you invested in an all SEC final, or did you find yourself a little bit uninterested compared to most years, Parker?
Yeah. Good morning, guys. I was
you were invested.
Slightly uninterested.
You seemed interested.
There it was.
You were texting me during the game, Parker. You seemed very invested.
That's what I'm saying. But I didn't sit around all day going, man, I can't wait for the big game tonight, But I watched it, and I knew I was going to watch it from the start because I figured it'd be good. I figured it'd be competitive. And then, early on, I find it humorous. And I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was good from the start. I thought it was rugged, obviously, from the start. It was high level from the start. But I do find it humorous that if that game had been, played between Michigan and Michigan State 9-6, it would have been, the narrative would have been a lot different than when it's Alabama and Georgia and it's 9-6. But that's probably a conversation for another day. And then obviously the fourth quarter was tremendous. That they were swinging back and forth. It was really good. So yeah, I think obviously it wasn't about Alabama and how dominant they were. I know that's a no-fly zone with Sipple. It really was just because we saw the same matchup a few weeks ago that my interest was lessened by a little bit. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I watched it. And it was a great game.
Yeah, and you would agree, and we'll get away from this, Parker, but a lot of what you saw was breathtaking, right? Breathtaking.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, both of those teams, just the front seven talent. I mean, you guys were talking in the last segment about, what Trev Albers told us yesterday, Sipple, about wanting to be the most physical team in the Midwest. And those teams have front sevens that are unparalleled in college football at this point. I mean, Clemson's had some that have been like that in recent years. Ohio State and Michigan had a really good defensive line this year. Ohio State's had good defensive lines in years past. But, man, I mean, the guys that those two teams have up front, and they're pretty darn good on the offensive line, too. I mean, that left tackle for Alabama is going to be a top, 3 to 5 pick this year or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a man's game for sure when you're talking about those two teams and when you're talking about the line of scrimmage.
Parker Gabriel joins us. He's the Nebraska football beat writer, and he sat down with Trev Alberts yesterday. Parker, were we in there for an hour? I mean, we were in there for a long time.
So. Yeah.
Okay, so we did discuss Trev saying he wants Nebraska to be the most physical football team in the Midwest. What else? What were your top 2 takeaways, or when you were pondering the discussion with Trev last night, what was going through your mind most?
Yeah, well, the thing I wrote about right away was what he said about the way the staff has come together, which I thought was interesting because he was really complimentary of Scott Frost and the work that's been done to put the pieces together. And there's a couple different elements to that. One is he sort of, confirmed in his own way that the running back job that's still open is taking a little bit because they have a lot of options. I don't think, now we'll see, I don't think they're striking out on guys. I think it's more that there's a lot out there. And Trev said, it's like every day there's another NFL coach that gets hired, and then you think, oh, maybe we should talk to this guy or talk to that guy or whatever. And so I thought that was interesting. I thought his confidence in saying we're going to hire a really good running backs coach was interesting. Mm-hmm. I thought, just talking about sort of what he thinks is going to be the value in bringing those new coaches in. Not only that they think that Mark Whipple is a good coach and they're really excited that Mickey Joseph wanted to come back to his alma mater and all of that, but just the way that the boss thinks that they'll challenge Scott and bring new ideas and all of that. That was an interesting conversation. We talked a lot about NIL and all of the complexities there. I probably can't explain that in 5 minutes on the radio. But yeah, there was a lot. And then of course, obviously we talked about Fred Hoiberg and hoops and sort of where that's at too.
Right. Okay. Now, as far as this, I've been really wanting to ask you this question about Casey Thompson, the transfer portal quarterback that's now will be in the fold. I guess he's supposed to be in town Friday. Casey Thompson, are we just taking for granted that this is an upgrade from Adrian Martinez? Are we sure this will be an upgrade from Adrian Martinez?
Yeah, I don't know if we take it for granted. I think more it's going to be a different style of quarterback than Adrian Martinez by a little bit. Now, It's not like you're going from a guy, it's not like Adrian was a true option quarterback, although he ran the ball an awful lot. They made a bunch of big passing plays. They made a bunch of big plays in the passing game last year. And Casey Thompson can run. He's an athletic kid. So there's definitely some overlap in terms of their games. I think the biggest thing you're looking for is consistency in the passing game. Mm-hmm. And that's a interesting conversation because when you talk about Adrian, if you look at his completion percentage the last 2 years, I mean, it's really good, and one of the confounding things about Adrian Martinez always was that the numbers always looked pretty good and the production always looked pretty good. I mean, he averaged over 9 yards an attempt in 2021.
Pass attempt.
Yeah, that's really, really good. And so the question is why did it always feel like there was some element of the passing game missing? And I think a lot of that was because of what you saw that was left on the field. And some of that, maybe it's a little unfair because it's one play here and one play there, but man, it always felt like in a big moment, there was a simple throw that didn't happen, or you missed somebody or whatever. And so I think you're talking probably about maybe a little bit more consistent in the passing game, which is an interesting thing to say because Adrian Martinez completed a higher rate of his passes than Casey Thompson did in 2021. But I think that's what Nebraska's hoping for. Now, can you get on the same page and operate the offense the same way and get a rapport down with the receivers and all of that? I mean, yeah, that's a lot to ask in a few months.
Joined by Parker
Great
Gabriel.
answer,
Parker,
Great answer.
regarding the future here at Nebraska at quarterback, Chuba Purdy is visiting Friday, but he visited Oklahoma yesterday. Of course, that he got the offer from Oklahoma following the Casey Thompson commitment on Friday last week. What are you expecting with Chuba Purdy? And if he's not a Husker, do they still go after another quarterback beyond Casey Thompson?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think that's all pretty fluid at this point. We'll see. You know, the possibility is also that that Chuba Purdy is not the only quarterback that Oklahoma is recruiting to potentially be their second quarterback along with Dylan Gabriel. So, you know, we'll see. I think obviously Chuba Purdy, his options at this point are shaping up to be schools where he's a young guy that they think is talented, that's coming in behind a veteran. That would certainly be the case at Nebraska. It would probably be the case at Oklahoma. We'll see. You know, if Oklahoma, if they're able to get Jackson Dart from USC or something like that, then maybe they're not as big of a player for Chuba Purdy. I tend to think, you know, Sipple raised the possibility last week that Nebraska could wait until the spring on the quarterback front. I thought that they thought it was important to get a veteran guy, Casey Thompson type, in the fold for spring ball. But I do think if you were going to explore the possibility of adding a second quarterback, a young guy, that's maybe where you could see the spring as a viable option if Chuba Purdy went elsewhere.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe they've got another guy behind Purdy lined up that they know they could get out of the portal, you know, this week or before the spring semester starts. But the way I would read it now would probably, my best guess would be that they'd like to add Purdy. And if they don't, then they'll reevaluate whether they can get another young quarterback sometime over the next couple months.
Strong, Parker.
Parker,
Strong
always
appearance.
great stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again next week.
Hey, Sipple, that's so nice of you to say. Shut up.
There it is.
That was excellent stuff.
Parker
on
Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Good job by Parker on that question of Casey Thompson, Adrian Martinez. I guess the assumption everybody's making is it's an upgrade. I'm not. We'll see if it's an upgrade. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a slam dunk by any means. It's an
Adrian's
upgrade.
a good quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, Adrian.
That's why you have very close eyes in Manhattan this year saying, what does that look like there? With Deuce Vaughn as an actual running back and an offensive line there.
Yeah, if Adrian can get ready for next year,
right?
I mean, that's the
The
thing.
injury's overcoming.
Yeah, he's overcoming a shoulder injury, and he won't. I don't think you'll see him in the spring. So he'd have to win that job in the summer and then in camp, and then August camp.
I assume is the
Could happen.
expectation.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, assume that.
You know what? You get in trouble assuming stuff.
I know. Well, that's the way it is. Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. A chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. Today is a wild card Wednesday. And so, Sip, we're going to do some famous Gregs today. Think you know your famous Gregs? Guy's named Greg.
Interesting. Greg.
We don't have Greg in Myrtle Beach is not answered today.
Okay.
So he's not on this.
Okay.
Although he's famous for our show.
He's definitely famous.
464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
We have a line open for you, 402-464-5685. Wildcard Wednesday, famous Gregs. There's a lot of Gregs out there that are famous. Shouldn't be that tough today.
Okay.
I don't think it's overwhelmingly tough trivia. Let's go with that.
Do you know who Kevin Bacon is?
I know who Kevin Bacon is. Do you know who Kevin Bacon is? That's the real question here.
Yeah.
464.
Yeah, we have a line open. Don't hesitate.
Don't be scared. There it is. There's a caller coming in. We'll probably light them up now. Yeah. How do you feel about famous Gregs today? Don't name them out loud, but go through your head and think, can you name some Gregs?
It's hard to know on your wild cards. That's the nature of the wild card Wednesday, right?
I don't want this to be predictable,
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
That's why
so I
it's
don't know
wild
how I feel about. Now they're rolling in, by the way.
Yeah. We'll get one here. All right, let's see. We've got Jeff. Jeff, thanks for calling. How do you feel about famous Gregs?
50-50.
All right, Greg.
All right. It's Wild Card Wednesday. You should feel 50-50. Let's do this.
All right, Jeff, first question goes to you. What team drafted Greg Oden first overall in the 2007 NBA draft out of Ohio State?
Utah Jazz.
Boy, I tell you what, Jeff, I like the confident answer. Not correct, though. Sip, you don't need this one if you don't want to. You can pass and not go -1 if you get it wrong.
God, I remember that time period very well. I'm going to pass. Just tell me it's not the Celtics.
It was Portland, the Trailblazers. So good pass there. All right, Sip, for the lead. Here's your first
Good
question.
pass. That was classic.
What team did Greg Maddux play the most years for in his 23 MLB seasons?
The Atlanta Braves, 1-0 lead here.
This is not easy. He had 11 with the Braves and 10 with the Cubs.
Ooh.
So it wasn't like it was just that easy, but that's
Braves.
correct. Braves is right. All right,
I think
Jeff.
he went to the Padres, right?
He was at the Padres,
Yeah.
yep.
I saw him pitch for the Padres.
He was old with the Padres.
Yeah, I saw him pitch against
And the Dodgers. Yeah, I think he was with the Dodgers.
I
maybe
saw
too.
him pitch against the Dodgers in Chavez Ravine.
Is that when you had sick?
No.
Your Dodger dog?
No. No, I was in Oklahoma City.
Oh, that's right. I can't. Well, Dodger dog, you know. All right, this is Jeff for the tie. Your last question. What famous Greg is a longtime sportscaster for CBS Sports covering the NFL and college basketball?
Greg.
5 seconds.
His brother works for NBC.
He does have a brother.
No, he doesn't have a brother.
Greg
Don't give him a
Gamble.
hint.
Say that again.
Greg Gamble.
It's not Greg Gamble.
Oh, it's Greg Gumbel.
Greg
Gumbel.
Greg Gumbel for the
yeah.
win.
Yeah.
It was Greg Gamble was close, but that's
I don't
not
think you
right.
give that
I
to
can't.
him.
No, I can't. Greg Gumbel, which Sip got, is correct.
You wouldn't give me Gamble.
No, I would make fun of you. Jeff, thanks for calling in. We'll get you a bag on the coffee and calling down the road, man. Good try this morning.
Yep.
All right,
there you go.
Jeff.
All right. Well, congrats. You're 2-1 in the week. One more win tomorrow with Schaefer, and you have a winning week again.
Since the reset, 45-43.
Yep.
If I'm an NBA coach, I'm in playoff contention, right, Harrison?
But are you going to end the season strong or not?
I don't know. These are tough games. That was a tough game. Thank you, Jeff. He was close. I thought he was going to get Gumbel. Hey, what was the last one, by the way?
What famous Greg is a former Olympic diver who won gold medals in the 84 to 88 Olympics?
These were pretty easy. These are surprisingly easy. That's Greg Louganis.
That's correct. I told you they were not hard.
Yeah, those
That's why
are
I
pretty
said
easy.
people
All
don't-
those were
don't be
pretty
scared.
easy. Yeah, those were pretty easy.
We'll wrap things up next with the spillover with DP and Jay Foreman. Next, an early break in the ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games. Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Bagels and Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any bagel. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in West Elk and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with DP and Jay Foreman. If you're just tuning in, you forgot our bet we made a couple weeks ago.
Where is Rico?
Rico will be here shortly, but if you forgot, we made a bet on, I believe, Old School before it moved to this time slot. We said the Dolphins Patriots. If the Dolphins lost to the Patriots, I was going to have to do the one-chip challenge, the Pocky one-chip challenge, which is extreme pain to eat this chip.
Is that extreme pain right there?
Jay?
I saw a man life flash in front of his eyes. Right here. Actually, he was standing right here, and his face got as red as DP's jacket and hat. And he tried to be this tough guy where he wasn't going to drink water. I was like, dog.
Yeah, I saw it. That was painful.
Like there comes a point in time when reality sets in, and you're already tough because I don't know if you're tough or smart, a little bit ignorant, whatever you want to call it. You ate it. Yeah, you did it. And he took it like a champ. He just said, hey, took 3 or 4 bites. What I read, you just need to try to gulp it.
Yep.
And he turned, and he started sweating. Was
Cup
it
skirt.
profusely?
Yeah, that's cup skirt.
Yeah. Tough guy.
So Rico lost the bet because his Patriots lost to my Dolphins, although my team fired their coach the next day. He still lost the bet fair and square.
Okay. Yeah.
So he'll come in here soon. And
he has to eat one of those?
Yeah,
he's got to eat
Buzzy
the chip.
Carruthers ate one. He did the challenge on his show. And we were at Tanner's when he did it. And Buzzy, it changed his life.
He had to go to the bathroom for a half hour.
This is called what? Pocky?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Pocky one-chip challenge.
You want to try it?
No. No, I'm not doing it. Carolina Reaper, Scorpion Peppers.
We gotta get it. We gotta dig into this thing, man. Is every time that I saw updates, and that text I sent you was from one of my friends that
the Brian Flores situation.
that plays there or played at the Dolphins. So he's tied into the situation.
What text?
About how it went down. Brian Flores pretty much called the 2 idiots he said, well, he did the wrong thing, called the owner, but he did tell the GM, there's only one common denominator in people losing, and it's you. It's not me.
Wait a second. Flores said that to the GM?
That's what my friend said.
rumors going
that's
on.
part of it. I mean, I just think he probably didn't believe in Tua. Tua's got a big paycheck, came and coaching Tua. Oh, dang, look at this. He got a haircut and everything.
Yeah.
But
Enrique's in here. Okay,
But-
keep going. That's interesting what you just
the
said.
Bill O'Brien sweepstakes.
No, we're not getting Bill. We're not involved in the sweepstakes for
The
Bill
Bill
O'Brien.
O'Brien sweepstakes are starting to heat up down there in
They're not.
was it Fort
we're not
Lauderdale?
involved.
He's
No.
starting to heat up
Starting to heat
Jacksonville
up.
is in the sweepstakes. We're not involved.
in the Fort Lauderdale
We're not
area.
Fort Lauderdale.
We are not
Is
involved.
O'Brien down
Eric Public Bienemy is heating up down there in
Okay.
Jacksonville.
Okay.
That's fine with
And
that.
I'm thinking here.
He's not.
I'm thinking
don't
here.
give
Hold
me
on,
the
hold
Bill
on, hold
O'Brien.
on now.
Oh,
Chill,
come on, he
chill.
has
This is
it
for me and
before.
DP. I was going to text you last night, but wasn't feeling the best. But number one, the WFT
Yeah.
Commanders
Yeah.
will be down there. The worst kept secret in NFL franchises. They play down in Houston. But do not be surprised if there's another if Culley's not there.
If who?
Yeah, David Culley.
David Culley.
Are they after Brian Flores?
Who's David Culley?
He's the Houston Texans head coach for the
exactly.
1 year.
See, exactly. See that reaction?
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, they
Actually,
great guy.
you know what?
He did a
and I
fine
was-
job, I thought.
And I was
this year.
talking to my friend down there, and he was saying this. He's like, we talked about when I was down there and David Carr and how it's so important to set up your franchise quarterback with good structure, good offensive line. It's kind of like college, right?
Yeah.
You know, bring in Adrian. He's supposed to be the savior.
Mhm.
You gotta have a line. You know,
Gotta have a
so
line,
so
yeah.
forth and so on.
Mhm.
But we talked about because Vance Joseph is on the radar. He was
I-
a defensive coordinator there before.
Okay.
Which is a
Hold on.
terrible idea.
Come on.
You just need to sit down over here, angry Jake. Okay?
Yeah, I'm
And
always
then
angry.
Vic
It's Dolphins
Fangio
fan.
and that, whereas like they went and have to take these jobs as head coaches without a quarterback.
Right.
And we started talking about the Denver quarterbacks.
Right.
It was like Trevor Siemian was the guy
Yeah,
that you
it
like, hey,
was.
here's your job. You've been coaching in the league for like 30 years, right? Is it because he was way back with the Soul Patrol in New Orleans, right? Down there with Jim Moore, original, the ranter.
The Soul Patrol.
Way back then.
Yeah.
Now you finally get a head coaching job,
Yeah.
and he's got to be over 60-some years
Yeah,
old.
Vic's
And-
older.
And well, Vance isn't, but Vic is. Then here you go. You got a quarterback that wasn't even drafted. And this
Trevor
is,
Siemian.
yeah.
And then you get.
And then what's the other dude? Paxton.
Yeah.
The dude with
Lynch
the
was
porn
terrible.
stash.
Yeah.
Paxton
Lynch.
Lynch from Memphis.
Bad. Terrible.
We should do a poll of what quarterback in the last, ever since Jamarcus Russell is obviously the bust of the bust, but who you should do a top 8 list
Of
It
what?
says
Of what?
worst quarterback picks
Okay.
since Jamarcus Russell.
Hmm.
The best Jamarcus Russell story is that they used to give like DVDs or VHSs or whatever. So they knew he hadn't been watching tape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what they did was to find out if he was, they gave him a blank tape.
Okay.
And so he came in and so like say like if you're the linebacker coach and
Yeah.
DP's the assistant and
Yeah.
we're talking about cover 3 or something. Hey, you remember play 45? I highlighted it. Do you remember when they ran what we used to call exchange? We used to get it a lot against Tony Gonzalez in Kansas City. They would run Tony Gonzalez on a wheel on the boundary with him and Dunn, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much put the middle linebacker in a no-win situation against a Hall of Famer. And trust me, I've lost plenty of sleep of that.
Yeah.
Well, they asked him about third down tape.
Uh-huh.
You know,
What'd he
and
say?
it was third down. It was game tape. It had all of it because it was the DVD. Then you could put tons on there, but it was blank.
It was a blank tape. What'd he say?
Oh, he just went. He was like, yeah, I watched it. This, and this, and this. And I think after that, that's when they benched him. Remember they benched him, and then after that, he was done.
That's beautiful. The tape was blank, Sir Marcus. You didn't see anything.
I'm telling you, the I know the Colts in-season Hard Knocks is pretty cool.
Yeah,
one of the best in-season rants that I had or was a part of wasn't when I was in Buffalo my last
I
year.
don't know that, Rico.
And Jerry Gray, who's
Jerry Gray,
yeah, defensive back at Texas, played in the NFL for a while. I think he had to be all pro. He was a good player,
okay.
Actually a great player. Don't even take nothing away from him. Coaching with Greg Williams and all that. So whoever was doing our VEH tapes at this time was late, you know, and we hadn't been playing well on defense. I think Peyton Manning just lit us up because the first time, that's what happened. First time they were like, hey, Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning are going to run this stop route. Sit on it, and I want you to take it to the house. Well, Nate Clemens sat on it. House call. Hey, well, Come back the next time. Stop and go. House call against us, right? Slant and go. House. I mean, they lit it. I mean, it was like bingo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the tapes were on there, and this is when Shaq got traded, right? Because we were talking about it, you know, and
To the Heat?
Well, he got traded from LA, right?
Yeah, to Miami.
Yeah, he got traded, and we had one first-round pick named Eric Flowers,
former Dolphin.
Right? Yeah, but he was supposed to be our
He's on the football team.
He was a defensive end.
Oh, sorry,
from Arizona State. Was supposed to be our Javon Curse, right? Because again, I said that they kind of wanted to obliterate all our good defensive records. 3-4 didn't work. We're going to do 4-3. Well, he was a big video game guy, and so the first game he had a sack. Well, we came in there and he came in talking about Madden or whatever, and was a little. He probably was
young guy.
Yeah, third, second year, and he probably might have been 22 seconds late to the meeting.
Okay,
22 seconds late. The equivalent of walking past the Gatorade thing, getting a Gatorade and be late. Well, the tapes weren't there. And then we had a little meeting and came back, and then Eric came back, was talking about Madden again. Jerry Gray is the funniest.
Jerry Gray.
Yeah. He would talk in the third person.
Yeah. And
he'd always say, you know why Jerry Gray was great? You want to know why come? And that we would be back there, because I'd sit in the top, me and my friend, we would be just laughing just because I would not want him to see me laughing at him, because it was a contract year. He probably was going to be petty.
Yeah.
And Eric came in talking about a trade that he made on Madden in our players lounge about Shaq and kind of equated to Shaq. Jerry Gray took that arm and like knocked those things off and just went off and took the table, lifted the table over, computer going everywhere. And then he left and came back. He's like, that's why I hate you MNFers. You guys don't want to play. You young guys don't know what you talking about. You know why? Jerry Gray was a 2-time All-Pro, All-American, this, and he just left. But the best just left, like got in his car and was gone. Whoa. Like out. He coached at the Redskins, or when they were the Redskins, because he came with Gray.
So then what happened?
Well, everybody kind of like, kind of like the little kid after you get mad at, a parent giving you go clean up the stuff, get your tape.
Yeah.
But the deal was the tapes weren't there when we were supposed to get the tapes. So actually we were like technically off. We sat around wait for the tapes. So he was probably more mad the tapes weren't there.
Yeah. But
he probably was mad because Eric was a first round pick and only had one sack. Because the other story is that Jerry Gray would just ride Eric every meeting, walking the walkthrough. Eric was like, dang, Jerry, you on your period?
Oh, boy.
Right?
Hello.
Jerry, and I was, if you were Jerry, Jake was Eric, I'm like DP. Jerry took like 3 steps. He was like, you know what? You damn right I'm going to be on my period. I'm going to be on my period till you start making some plays. Now, how about that? Hey, homeboy didn't say anything for like 4 weeks. Didn't make any plays, but it didn't work. It didn't work, but it was pretty funny, though.
All right, what's going on here?
All right, so Rico is here. Again, Rico lost.
You doing it right now?
Yeah, he's doing it right
Okay,
now.
what's going on
Rico
here?
lost the challenge against me. He has to eat the Pocky chip, which is like the hottest chip in the history of mankind.
Yeah, I do.
Don't put your nose on it. Don't touch it.
The thing,
DP, you
looks-
within striking range.
That's hideous.
Yeah.
It smells horrible.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't your stomach just react to that?
Yeah.
We have seen reactions to this chip not go well. Somebody says you could go to the hospital with this. We are aware of what could happen with the chip.
DP, are you okay with all this?
Oh, I'm laughing because so Rico knows the damage that's coming. So he's got Breyer's ice cream.
Yep.
Smart.
He's got
Wise move.
He's got his reduced fat milk, which is supposed to
Does milk help?
No, but for he can't drink it for how many minutes do you have to?
There are different things. It says if it takes me 5 minutes before I drink something, I'm powerless, and honestly, I don't care.
He might be powerless.
10 minutes
Apparently,
powerful, 30 minutes supercharged, 1 hour invincible.
Yeah.
Sip has never seen this before,
and it has its different stages.
What?
Like so, this is actually.
How'd you know about this, DP?
The chip comes in a coffin.
TP looks for painful
It
challenges
comes in
all
a
the time.
coffin. Like that lets you know. So it says, round 1 early on, you'll get the kick. Then you'll get the scorpion sting. Then round 3, you'll get your vision will be disrupted. Then you get the gut punch, and then 5th, you're just roasted and you're done.
Well, DP, did you order this off the internet?
No, actually, the
find
guy
it?
Brett Baker
he
brought
brings
them
them in,
in.
too.
Oh, Brett Baker.
Brett Baker is
10-11 News,
is tied into Hot Ones, and as part of it, when he came in, we did the Wings Challenge, the Hot Ones Wings Challenge, and he brought these in. And the rules for the challenge: eat the entire chip, wait as long as possible before drinking or eating anything.
Yeah, eat that whole thing.
Oh, one bite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to do
Versus
that.
the Carolina Reaper. So
All right, let's get him on a mic.
All right,
Okay,
brother.
come on.
All right, Rico. Oh, Rico.
First off, this chip is massive.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to eat the whole thing at one
No,
time.
no,
And
you
it
don't
is-
got. You
it
said
is
one bite of the whole thing.
coated.
It says eat the chip all one time.
It does. It doesn't say one time. I just have to
There
eat
must
it.
be a special occasion. Rico got a haircut.
Yeah.
Well, this was so.
Rico-
I went in and I asked the dude. I said, "Yeah, I lost the bet. I'm supposed to get a Mr. T," and he goes, "Yeah, I don't like doing that." So I I didn't get it.
Rico's awfully
All of
game
his
for
bets
this. He's
today. Yeah.
game.
All of his bets.
I told him he ain't had to do that.
I'm game for like I own up on my bets, and I really don't want to.
Yeah,
do
if
this.
you want to see
Ricky-
pain,
Rico, I
I
appreciate
encourage you
this.
all to right now get to the Sauter Heyman video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube because this is about to go down. Rico is about to partake in
Harrison,
his
you might have to
punishment.
stay. You might have to be the producer for the next show. I'm just gonna let you know right now.
All right.
I'm impressed by this.
This
Rico.
the moment of truth is here. Here we go, Rico. Oh, he
he's
has taken
doing
the bite. Go,
Yeah,
go.
he's doing
You
it.
dropped some. You got to get some.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
DP
Jake.
get that off his shirt. Yeah,
Let
you
him
got to eat
go.
that
Let
right
him
there.
go.
Let's
Let
see
him
how this
go.
goes.
Let him
Look,
go.
look at Jay's face. Like, what's going on with you, son?
Jay knows. Jay knows.
He's bad.
He could. There
Oh,
could-
there it is. Oh,
Oh, you're
uh-oh.
fine. You're fine. You're
Is
fine.
this Rico's
If
first
you-
time doing the chip?
If you vomit, it's okay.
No,
You
no.
can vomit.
Oh yeah, it's serious.
No, don't vomit on me.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
yeah,
vomit.
It's serious.
If you
business.
have to
Yeah,
vomit,
take that
just
outside.
vomit.
You can take the vomit
Okay,
outside.
Rico. This is play-by-play. Rico has left the microphone. He's above.
Hey, turn the thing-
He is
turn
a.
the AC on in here, man. Get it cold.
Yeah, get the AC back. He is over the trash can. Mark, I think, is videotaping this whole
He
thing.
went
Looks like.
straight-
Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh,
No.
no, he's not okay.
No,
He's
right.
not okay. He's not okay.
We got a
I'm doing the
bunch
show.
of
I'm doing
viewers
the-
right
I'm doing
now.
the
I gotta
show
make
over
sure
here.
Rico's seeing.
Yeah, yeah. Here, let me get it out of the way.
I'm doing the show over here.
Where am I going?
No, you're good right there. Yeah,
Okay.
Rico. We can see Rico below your right arm there.
I don't like to see a man in pain, so I'm not going to watch.
Oh no, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Got this
No,
thing
this is
covered
real.
over here.
This is real.
Rico is.
This is
You
real.
guys should vote. Nobody ever do this again, man.
I'm
No, come on now.
I would be the one who had to do it if I lost the bet, but the Dolphins came through in the clutch like they
Think
usually
about
never
Jake
do.
doing this. Think
Oh,
about Jake.
well, this is how
I'd be
this thing.
crying
This is
right
how
now.
this thing happened. Was
Uh-oh.
that they were betting,
Look at him.
and yeah.
Look, you hear the grunts in the background. That's
Is
Rico.
anything happening?
He's grunting.
Oh yeah. This is.
All right, get back. Can you get to the
Champ.
mic?
He's a champion.
You
though.
are a
Look at
champ.
Look
You are
at-
a champ.
He's crying. His eyes are wet.
Rico, you're a champ. Take some
Yeah.
milk. Take some
him.
milk.
That's a full-fledged warrior right
Yeah, it is. God bless you. You're on a team, man. You're a good man.
It's no joke.
No, no,
Look
this
at
is
his
no
eye.
joke.
He's got
No,
he's
the
got
pain's
tears
real.
coming from his
The
eyes. right
pain's
now.
real. The pain is real. It is real.
Oh, look, he can talk.
Swallowing the chip is the hardest part.
Yeah. I
Swallowing
got
is
you.
the hardest part.
Why is that? Why is that?
Yeah, we need the play-by-play on this.
Texture?
It doesn't taste good.
Okay.
If it tasted good, it's
It
a
doesn't
different
taste good.
The
There will
milk
be no
is-
question for Rico
Hey,
today.
can you get the ice cream open, DP?
No, he's got to do it all by himself. He's ready.
Yeah, yeah.
He's taking
No
bites.
spoon needed.
No spoon.
No
He's
spoon.
diving right in with his
You
mouth.
don't need to use a spoon. Just eat it. Yeah. Eat it like a cookie.
The heat just goes down your throat.
Yeah. All right. You're fine.
This is phase one. This is.
I know. He's doing good. I'm impressed by this.
What's phase 2, DP? Do you know what that is?
So it tells you. Hold on here. Let me make sure we.
Was it on a time limit? That's where the phases come from.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
Rico's
yeah.
grunting over
Well, it's like the wings. It each pepper has its own
Time frame, yeah.
reaction, right? So
Each pepper.
the spicy punch, which is the first kick when he ate it, then the scorpion sting, which is usually the back of the throat, and then your sinuses and your eyes start to water. Then the gut punch, which is when it finally
punch.
lands, and then roasted, which is where it's a full on sweat and yeah.
Gut punch might be the one that takes him out of his job today.
So what? He's in phase 1 right now. Then
He's in phase 2 because
Oh,
his
phase
eyes,
two.
yeah.
All right, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Well,
He's
see,
in
Rico,
phase 2.
If you're watching, you'd see behind DP on the video.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
jumping around the room.
He's in phase 2. So
Oh, he's
it got
in
Buddy. It took Buzzy Carruthers and knocked him down for 35.
Yeah, and Buzzy was
35 minutes.
Yeah,
he was like, I'll be fine. I love spicy stuff. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, here you go,
And
try
then-
it out.
And then it hit him, and his wife was there and during when we were,
Yeah, she
we were
was
broadcasting,
concerned.
and she was concerned, but she was just she couldn't unlock herself from watching. And he's like, "Okay, honey, there's an ice cream place right across the street. Can you please go get ice cream?" And she thought he was like joking, and he was like, "No, seriously, go get me ice cream." And then he finally said, "DP." He looked at me and he goes, "DP, I'm tapping out, man. I need you to cover for me." So I had to get on a microphone for him and take us through the next 35 minutes.
Well, yeah. Now,
Because he was in the bathroom and it was beating him. It was
if Rico taps out, I totally understand.
I look done it. I've
Jay, have you done the?
Have
chip
you done
before?
this?
Yeah, I've done this.
How'd you hold
no.
out?
I did the wings. I ain't doing that stuff no
Okay.
more, man.
He went through the pain. He did the hot wings the hot ones challenge. The
before I ever do that again.
Really?
It's under my tongue and it won't go away.
You got ice cream under your beard.
You're doing fine though, Rico. You're doing fine.
If you're not watching, Rico is eating ice cream with no space. He's just taking.
I've never
into
seen
this
that
cup of
before. By
Friars
the
ice
way.
cream.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's rough,
good, though.
man.
This is some Neanderthal.
He's
stuff.
smiling now.
No, because you get to know yourself.
He just hit the door.
Yeah, you get to know yourself.
You take the glasses
when the
off,
pepper hits. Jay, is that not true? When the
that
pepper
one
hits,
it's on like instantaneous.
You get reintroduced to yourself at levels that you aren't comfortable with.
Fascinating.
Harrison, give me a spoon.
Rico's wife has tweeted in. Rachel says, "Which one of you guys is going to babysit Rico today?" Look at the man.
That's pretty funny.
Look at the man.
That's pretty
The glasses
funny.
are off. He's got ice cream all over his beard. He's a
spoke.
mess.
He
He's a
spoke.
mess.
I'm so impressed right now with Rico.
Well, let's
Rico, I do look at you different now.
Let's see how he's doing at 2:00 when the happy hour comes on. If he's very happy.
Well, the problem is that now the chip gets in his digestive, and in about 35 minutes,
bomb.
Oh,
Well, he'll be right here.
Oh, he's gonna be oh my goodness gracious. Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
this is Jake. Are you?
I'm proud
do
of
you
myself.
feel fortunate right now?
Because the Dolphins are the better team. They're an elite franchise.
Yeah, but
They
how
don't
would you
lose when
handle
challenges
this?
are
He
on the
doesn't
line.
even care about Rico.
I
He's
know
just
you're
like,
heartless.
Well, I'm not doing the challenge. I feel pretty happy. It's not me. Rico,
he wouldn't even. Jake
don't
wouldn't
ever
even do
bet
the
against
wings.
the Dolphins again.
Would he do this?
Jake wouldn't even do. Jake wouldn't even do the wings.
No,
Like
I
we
didn't
did
do
the
the
wings, and the wings. I mean, the wings is a whole different experience because it's 10 wings and it walks you into. Yeah, Mark's done them, so Mark can tell you.
HR is here. HR's here.
Yeah, no, Mark's done them. That's why he's.
Oh, Mark's done this.
Oh, Mark's done this. That's why Mark knows what Rico's going.
I'm curious, Rico. What have you gone through? You've gone through a full bottle of milk. You're halfway through the
Ice cream. He's on another bottle of milk.
second bottle.
He
of
gets the
milk.
protein
It's
in
the
today.
tongue, and when I
He needs a
talk, it's
spoon.
worse.
Look at his tongue. His tongue is dead.
He needs a spoon.
But he's getting 17 grams of
He's
protein.
He's saying his tongue's not working properly because the chip has
Look at
overtaken
what he's
the
doing.
heat.
Good job,
Get
Rico.
him some ice.
Okay, he's got a spoon.
He's got a
coming.
spoon.
You got a
there-
spoon coming.
Harrison's got a spoon.
Thank you, Harrison.
Thanks,
Thank
Harrison.
you, Harrison.
Very helpful.
Eat that ice cream.
He can survive in nature then. He'd be out there eating.
When he
don't
needs a
need
spoon, though.
Eat the cow.
I'm really impressed, Rico.
Wow, there we go.
Dang, Jake.
Like, can you taste the ice cream? Is it still just all hot? Like, that's my question. Like, can you actually taste
That's
what
how-
you're
that-
drinking? Okay, you can taste it.
Yeah, you
That's
can
good.
taste it.
His taste buds are not wrecked.
Could you have done this?
I might be in the hospital right now if I was doing that. This
I
is
don't know if
better.
you'd hold up
Jake,
as
Jake,
for
there's no
everybody.
way that you're mentally tough to do this.
Jay.
Well, I mean,
Jay,
you gotta
he's pretty mentally tough.
you gotta do it.
He is. He takes criticism really well.
Yeah, but the fact that he took off his Dolphins.
What? They fired my coach. I was devastated.
Yeah, I'm.
This is like
I'm leaning with Jay on this
This
one.
is
Are you? I got to
Jake.
support my
Well, no
co-host.
one's
Jake,
expected
Jake,
that.
DP,
to
I got to
happen.
support my co-host.
The amount of mental anguish that you go through is nothing like you guys what you felt like with Brian Flores being gone.
I got punched.
If
in the
you
gut.
like Brian Flores, you should probably think like he's too good to coach for you guys.
He is too good to coach for us.
You
Apparently,
need to
that's what
go
Stephen
hire back
Ross told
like
us yesterday.
Joe Fieldman or something like
No, never Joe Philbin ever again. That guy sucks. Never. Don't put that on me.
Yeah,
Don't put that on me.
So when Jay did the wing challenge, there's one that kind of set you off, and that's the one where the
Yeah.
look on Jay Foreman's face
Really?
that.
changed.
Oh my god.
The big man?
Changed. It
Oh, yeah.
changed.
The big man?
And
the
then
first
we
three
missed the
weren't bad.
dump. We missed the dump button, and
Yeah.
Jay just launched one. Like it was.
Oh, I was on a full-fledged sprint to get some ice. I was just rubbing ice on my lips.
Is that right?
It was horrible.
All right. Well, we'll catch up with Rico.
Rico might be the
5
toughest
minutes.
producer in
Yeah.
in
I'm
Nebraska
saying
state
tough.
line.
Yeah, I'm saying tough right now.
We'll catch up with
Street
Rico
tough.
at old school.
Carney Street tough.
We appreciate his efforts. We're gonna let him get
Bell
5
West
minutes to
finest.
recover.
Rico, look at Rico.
Look at Bell West finest.
Look at
Look
Rico.
at him.
He's down in the ice cream.
He's taking
Still
punches.
still
He's
could win
taking
the hurdles
punches
right now.
He has not gone down either. He's
No.
not gone
Yeah.
down.
We'll get
No
a
standing 8 count.
Nope. Rico, nice.
He's doing well. We'll take a break. Old school's gonna be up
I
next.
really don't want to talk because when
That's
I talk,
fine. No, you
it
don't-
comes up.
Yeah, you
It's
don't have
worse.
to.
We'll see
You don't
how he
have to.
does during old school. For Steve Sipple, I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application. Become a